earth today, you, me, him, her, all these different walks of life, it's all a test. It's almost like an experiment, God's experiment. When are we gonna understand that we are put on earth to live?
Hello! Welcome to today's lesson. How you going, guys? Hello, Beeman, Bullfrog, Alex, I'm doing great library, Virgin, who else is here? Prussian Butt, Mark Taster. Hello, welcome. Today is our lovely lesson on modding in games. Educational. So what does an educational stream mean? Does this mean you'll be assessed on this content and I will knock down on your door like the Duolingo bird? Sadly, no. I don't know your address, so you are safe. Please do not post it. But I will be going through a whole bunch of interesting stuff in a semi-organized fashion. Of course, it's not a well-constructed curriculum that you may be used to from a university class. A lot of it is my schizophrenic ramblings attached to some slides. Share YouTube playlist link, please. It's Flamingosis, the one Cleo recommended. Yeah, I've got a pop filter on the way. I'm very excited because that sound keeps just coming up inside of every sentence. So unfortunately, I sound a little annoying. My apologies. Hi Duke Doors, welcome to the stream. How you doing? But yeah, as with some other stuff today, I made some food. I cooked a whole bunch of chicken. Moroccan chicken. It's got this little honey glaze on the chicken. Okay, it's still glitching out with VTube Studio, but that's okay. Also, I upped the bitrate. The bitrate is now 2.5 times higher because I just realized I was streaming at 2,500 bitrate like the past.
Damn.
I don't know how long. So now it's 6,000. Does it look better to anybody? We can probably fit around a whole lot more stuff. 720, 2500 is fine. Yeah, but this is a 60 FPS stream. So, more. And also I believe it's somehow streaming at 1080p sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. When I AV1 streams, as soon as I get a capable graphics card, unfortunately, I don't have any capable graphics cards, really shitty. Because the 4090 has a price in Australia. Let me show you the price. Your eyes can't actually see above 60 FPS. Very true. Absolute 100% true. Yep. Guys, let's do some shopping on stream. Let's see. So,
everybody freeze. Everybody down on the ground.
Well, which is it, young feller? You want ice that freeze or get down on the
this one is $5,000. $5,000. The cheapest is just a touch under $3,000. What the fuck? It's sold out. These are sold out. Look at Bitcoin miners. I hope that's a joke. Bitcoin isn't actually mined by GPUs for like 7 years. At least. Hi Lexter. Welcome to stream. Hi Dino Sleep too. Hello, hello, hello. I have a question. Some guy ate a roll and wiggling up they did in the sleigh, so is it safe to eat that? That's a good question. Probably not. But let's double check that. Can I eat a raw worm? Oh no, those are mealworms. So earthworms. Oh no, they're safe, but you gotta remove the dirt from them. So don't eat the dirty one, but a non-dirty one is apparently safe. Because mealworms are also a thing. Hi, old stalker. Yes, this is professional hair hours. But I'll put it to a vote for democracy if the other hairstyle helps people concentrate. I acknowledge a one-person impulse buying because it's like 300 off. Jesus Christ. Like, I want it, but it also is gigantic. So comparing the size of a 4090, so RTX 4090, if you take a look at the size comparison. That is it. Beside an Xbox Series X. It is fucking gigantic. That is quite literally absurd. What the goddamn? And now let's take a look. RTX 4090 power consumption. 485 watts. What the fuck? Even GTX 4080 power consumption. It's nearly up to the 4080, which was a massive meme for its power consumption. And yeah, it's been brought back. So yeah, NVIDIA, just like Fermi, aka the furnace architecture, we're now back to this with 485 watts. 490 FE is capped at 450. It's capped. In practice, no. They have power surges, which is what the new, I believe, is either a 10-pin or a 12-pin connector that has an extra little doogie in it that connects with the power supply to let it know how much capability power supply has, how much capability the graphics card has, and turn it down because it will spike up to this much sometimes. Yeah, little doogie. Hi hoods, welcome to the stream. 49 Japan trip, it's easy to see what wins. Japan. Honestly, I'm gonna go back a couple years graphics wise, really stops the arms race since nobody can afford damn hardware. That is, yeah, a real possibility, honestly. Like the PS5 and Series X is already pretty good, even though it's not amazing. So everything's gonna stay around that for ages until ray tracing cards are cheap. What the fuck? Like, really? Is this the future? I don't like the future. The future is scary and shit. Four times 8 pin. Jesus Christ. Because, okay, my RTX 1080, no, GTX 1080 is what I currently have. It's good enough, but it uses only 200 watts. The other one is 2.5 times the power draw. That is nuts, because already my computer slightly heats up my room. So to put 485 watts in there, I'm gonna be fucking grilling. I mean grilling all the day, every time. I'm gonna be burned alive in my room. You're gonna find me with brain damage. I'm gonna be on a chubby emu video. This VTuber bought an RTX 4090. This is what happened to her brain. And like, it costs so much to the Mako by Metagoals, crack it open, hook it up with silver. Yeah, like the already ridiculous expensive $1,500 Meta headset with only 1 to 2 hour battery life. I could buy that. Also, hi Delson, welcome to stream. 1550X. I was thinking about it, but the extra power draw wasn't personally worth it to me, especially with all the cooling necessary. I have a 5900X. Yeah, so the 12 core version. Okay, the VTube Studio glitching is really pissing me off. I still have no idea why that happens. I'm at literally 20% of CPU and GPU usage. Why is it stolen? But a Japanese PS5 not so in America, it's still less than the quarter of the cost of the 4090. Yeah, it's ridiculous. There's no other way to put it than just ridiculous. Hi, do some shit posting. Yes, we're making fun of the 4090 for being, although yes, very fast. It has basically the same power consumption, just 20 watts less. So like, yeah, we'll straight up back to this. Hi Clear, welcome to stream. How you doing? That headset battery in the Quest is actually insulting consumers. Yes, and other tech news. So the Quest Pro headset was revealed. It looks amazing. They're like, oh yeah, guess what? It has improved optics. It can do full augmented reality pass-through with color resolution rivaling that of the Quest. That's amazing. It could also have controllers that track themselves. There's no need for the headset to see them. That's amazing. It has face tracking, eye tracking. Guess it also has 1 to 2 hour back. 1 to 2. Two to 3 that the Quest 2 got was already considered small. The new one has less. Really? Oh, you going sleepy? Alright. What? Good night. Have a good sleep. Post your dinner and consume. Honestly, this time period is most fondly remembered. Nice. I'm gonna see why this battery is so bad. It just takes more power to run the newer version. Well, I can understand the better cameras because the limitation of the cameras is, well, they can't actually up the resolution of the panel, because if they had a high resolution rendered image, then the high resolution world, it'd look weird. So they keep the cameras at some older ones that don't quite have the resolution that you'd really want in a headset, but it's still pretty good. And unfortunately, that also means they kind of cheaped out on some other stuff as well, including the battery. What the fuck? Because look at how much hardware it has. They could fit more battery in the back. They've already got some of the battery in the back. Why would you have a 1 to 2 hour battery life on a business device? Because remember, this is fundamentally who it's targeted to. Businesses that money is no object for them. Because it's just in part of the budget. A couple $1,000s for stuff, easy. Especially for executives who want to do meetings and shit. Who the fuck is gonna get a headset that dies during a meeting? If this lasts 1 hour and you have a 2 hour big meeting, well, GG. They're in the business of charging that device. Yeah, and like, oh, they give you a dock. That's like, okay, so it charges like that, but you can't be wearing it while that charger is there. Like, you see the contacts, but you can't be wearing it. You can use a wired, but it's still like, they give you a charger that won't let it charge while you use it, so you gotta get an extra cable. You have to buy an extra fucking cable. These are accessories. These don't come with it. I was really, really excited for this headset. But why be separate in a business device? I've seen meetings go for like 3-ish hours. Yeah, it's not an amazing headset, is it? I was really looking forward to it. Kind of disappointed. Do you think the video mod until good at data and place textures and model is just a DLL? I think it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing. So if the field don't know, RTX Remix. So the ultimate modding platform, so very relevant to this stream, is they were able to themselves remaster a whole bunch of classic titles. And so if you're gonna go learn more about it, is aside from all the faff, RTX Remix is able to capture the textures, geometry, lighting, and cameras thanks to a fully rewritten DirectX 9 runtime. Hi, it's Marisa. Marisa. Welcome. The real question, if you use the charger, you can keep up with us all these cards. Yeah, that was the thing with the Quest 2, is that even while charging, the Quest 2 doesn't actually stay charged. It's slow, granted better than it was, but it slowly discharges. See, I like Sienna. Is it bad that I like the League of Legends Logitech stuff with color combos? No. It's not bad for you to really like anything. You like whatever you want. If someone judges you for it, be like, well, fuck you. I have something I like. You just better. Less bad doesn't mean good. Oh no, yeah, like it's absolutely an atrocious design for a headset, but yeesh. Hi, new Kerba. I like cocaine. Nice. Don't worry, the glowies haven't reached this chat yet, so you're fine. Calling 4K. Yeah. So the way this works is it can actually capture them and like have a universal scene description framework, which is an open standard. Great. That's actually really good. I wasn't expecting the video to go with an open framework. I was kind of expecting to go with a really locked down one, except the acronym sucks. Why would you call it USD? Well, I'll just say USD. You're like, the hustle, do whatever your hustle does, here's your pills and fuck off. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better soon. I can maybe see like a chiropractor or an actual doctor that doesn't just pass you over. I mean with T. Twitter likes. What do you mean by Twitter likes? What did I do? Why do they call it something that would actively cause confusion? Yeah, so that there comes a time when most people making open standards are hobbyists doing it for a joke. They're like, hey, would it be really funny if we have that acronym and we call it USD? This is known as backronyms. Like you start off with something kind of funny and you're like, okay, I have some of the words. Yeah, universal scene description. Got him. Other cases of backronyms throughout history include let's see, where is it? Let's see, examples in tech. Yeah, SAD, seasonal affective disorder. MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. ZIP, Zone Improvement Plan. The Patriot Acts, uniting and strengthening America by providing appropriate tools required to intercept and obstruct terrorism. The Patriot Act is a very... Show your bookmarks, Mako. I don't think I will. What's in my bookmarks? Wait, what? No. I'll not show you my bookmarks. No. There's secrets in that. It's USD because you gotta get Shilt in a video to use it. Yeah. Okay, god damn it. I'll have to see what Cleo's sending me. And whether or not I'm gonna be cancelled by her. Okay, Cleo, you can't just say porn. That's not porn. That is acceptable levels of funny. That's not porn. I sent this. It's this. I liked this. Holy shit, how many dogs do you have? I liked this. That's not porn. SMH. Mako's Twitter likes showing she loves it. Why do you all go through my likes? Jesus Christ. Hi Tusha, welcome to stream. So we went through a tangent of backronyms from Universal Scene Description from NVIDIA's modding tool, RTX Remix. They called it Universal Scene Description USD, and someone said, I actually bookmarked a page that like shows you bookmarked. Clear sent a screen cap of me liking that. Yeah. Now you're caught up to speed. We're also complaining about the price of RTX 4090s. I don't look, it literally gets pushed to the feed. Mark is an acronym for Magical Australian Cool in Echan. Yeah. Oh yeah. For the let's do a poll. Marco, the Chainsaw Man bowling one is porn. I don't even remember. I'm not showing it on stream, but I remember that. I straight up don't remember that. I just see Chainsaw Man memes. I'm like, nice, like and retweet. I love Denji. Denji's best boy. What hair do you use for lesson? Alright. What hair do we use this lesson? Long or short? Oh, well, I guess it's tied. Vote now. Yeah, thank you, Cutie Clementine, for the follow. Yes, this is short. The other one is long. So you want the tied up hair and you don't want the long hair. Okay. Understandable. Alrighty. So I think that there is a lot of potential in the RTX remake service. It all depends on how it's actually released. I like that they're using open standards. Sure, it's serious business. Oh, it's getting neck and neck. Long as more professional looking TVA. Okay, wait. This is short. This is long. So, choose wisely. Hi Marazmu, welcome to stream. How you doing? Thanks then again for the follow. How you doing? Long as like the MILF in the anime gone mold. Oh, the 4090 doesn't need... Oh, yeah, that's another thing that's really stupid. Is that display port 1.4a capabilities. So you can't actually reach a higher resolution than 4K 120. Now naturally you'd think that nothing can reach 4K 120. Oh. Like son of bitches is tied. It's tied. Okay. I guess I'll just leave it like this. I'll flick back and forth occasionally. A lot of painkillers right now. Okay, I'm sorry, Beam. I'm sorry. Get well soon. Goodbye. Yeah, so 4K 120 is actually compressed on DisplayPort 1.4a. And unfortunately, the RTX 4090 is actually stronger than this. It can go past 4K 120. It actually can run games at 4K 144 and beyond. Therefore, it stands to reason it might be able to do 8K at like 70. So as a card, you're paying it to not be future-proof. Which doesn't make much sense if you're already paying up to 5,000 fucking dollary dues for a graphics card. Hi Hellraiser, welcome to stream. How you doing? Hedgehog B Thrust. Hello. And Polychroma Metal. 2 games with 4K 120. Yeah. It's like the 2 hot dogs meme. Gee, Bill, how come your mom lets you eat 2 wieners? Okay, ignore this. That's some like Tumblr tier shit. But this part is funny. And so, this big long tangent for the class was to demonstrate NVIDIA's recent developments, the Quest developments, and how we're basically returning back to extremely hot and heavy graphics cards that are huge, bulky, and draw way too much power to the point where I'd say it's environmentally unfriendly to have one. Like 500 watts is a space heater at that point. Jesus Christ. Hi Cyberstale, welcome to stream. Yeah, Archie Comics. Super Size Java Maker. No, that's actually a that's actually a GTX 4080. Because it consumed 500 watts under load. And so basically it was actually a toaster. But they looked like this. And it did actually kind of look like a grill. It straight up had the indentations of a grill. So, yeah. But welcome back again. Use a Threadripper. Oh yeah, dude, the Threadripper power usage. If you're going to Threadripper. Okay. So the 3990X actually uses 400 watts. So you can have nearly 1,000 watts used in a PC. Let's say the 59, the Threadripper, wait, are we up to 4,000? But yeah, 400 for this, nearly 500 for the graphics card. The other stuff pushes it over the edge to 1,000. That is a kettle. That is a whole ass electric kettle running for like 8 hours a day. That's a fucking lot. That's a real lot. Or if they actually made a grill and say Xbox made a Series X fridge. That'd be funny, but kind of bad taste. Also, the power direct is gonna when people have problems actually driving these systems at some point. It's a wall outlet when you get enough power. Yes. Imagine you live in a building with multiple gamers. You burn the house down, or no one can play games. Yeah, your PC alone takes a kilowatt hour. Like, that is just absolutely fucking nuts to me. It should not be like that. That's way too bad. We just got off like generations of efficiency gains and making things better. And suddenly, we're back to, yes, today I will grill an egg on my graphics card to save energy costs. Gonna need a ton of fucking PCs into geothermal energy reactors. The whole building has lost power. Goddamn, Jimmy booted up Cyberpunk 4027. I am actually enjoying Cyberpunk. Some of the mods to make the quality of life better are really appreciated. How those even acceptable in video blows my mind. Yes, they care about businesses. They don't care about people anymore. As in, the gamer. Gamers rise up, bottom text. But businesses are now the main focus in the video, because what sane individual buys one of these? Using a 4090 and Korean barbecue. Oh, I really want Korean barbecue again. But yeah, no sane individual would buy one of these. Bottom text. Rise up. Now, I actually made slides to these. So if you will avert your gaze to the... So your gaze. Misspoke. Let's see, where is the... Is it this one? Yeah. I made slides. Look at it, it's all professional and stuffs. Is that, yep. So I've got a couple slides, so just, modding. So modding games, historically, welcome. This will not be assessed extremely strictly. I expect you all to take notes and communicate when I ask questions. Please. So what is modding? Modding is modifying games to do something other than originally intended. Now, this could be making the game have 200 health instead of 100. It could be changing the AI of enemies. It could be fixing up a whole bunch of graphical issues. It could be doing anything under the sun. Like making Thomas the Tank Engine a dragon in Skyrim. Teaches me as much slides again. Yeah, you fool. You're trapped here, and I will leave my mouse on the screen. Do you have a cue to the end of the class? I'll see if I can. That sounds cute. Hi, Nadnity. Welcome to class. How you doing? Train whistle intensifies. Yeah. So there was also a Macho Man Randy Savage mod for this Skyrim Dragons as well. It's great. So, examples of mods historically. Let's take a look at these. So, the first game that was moddable was actually Lode Runner in 1983. It had a level editor, which users could make and save levels to share with other players at the same computer. So it was the first user-generated content in a game, because ultimately modding is user-generated content, which is a big buzzwordy term nowadays that essentially just means anything the player does that the developer didn't themselves make. GPU was so older, your frames dropped to a slideshow. Yeah. Now, a lot of things, especially me as a little kid, were about wondering, okay, I can download these things, and they change my game. But how does that actually work? Like, what the fuck is a mod? Like, how do I do that? What is it actually doing? Well, if we return to our slides. So examples of mods historically. So there's usually mod-friendly versus moddable games. So mod-friendly is when there's mod tools, custom scripting engines, level editors, easy installations. But moddable, but the devs didn't intend it games, are when we need to use more programming tricks. That's when a lot of it is like the manual file editing. We have to like unzip, delete the meta-inf folder, and do all this weird stuff. DLL injection, manual replacement of texture files, and hooks. Let's focus on the first category. So mod tools, custom scripting engines, level editors, and easy installations. Hi Kithion, welcome to stream. So mod API is mod-friendly category. Yes, if there is anything included in the game that makes it easy for modders to add stuff, it will go in mod-friendly. Because if there is an API, that means that the developers actually allowed and intended you to do it. But a lot of this stuff in moddable, the devs didn't really leave anything. I know John's Rose is a red vase of Zaku, but hey, beautiful plugs too. It's still not my birthday, but thank you. Welcome to class today. So yeah, we'll focus on this first one over here, what mod-friendly games are. So mod-friendly games would be, well, literally like the first one, which was level editors. There are all kinds of things with level editors. For example,
Marismoo cheered, X300, happy birthday.
Thank you for asking for the 300. It's not my birthday, but thank you. This is exactly like a real class of 13-year-olds. There will be soda and cake and a pack of cheese twisties, some shapes, some fairy bread. We'll have the stereotypical Australian class party. Hi the Twitch Crunk guy. Welcome to stream. Hi Dota Psychologist. Yeah, they have a 1 in 365 chance of getting right. That's actually a concept in security. I want fairy bread now. Yeah, so for the Americans, fairy bread is like sprinkles onto some margarine and bread. No, we aren't crazy, but that's like an actual Australian snack.
Anywhere between 2 hours, 3 hours, all the way up until 5 hours.
Like fairy bread is Australian? Yeah. Hi, old stalker. It's not ew. Fairy bread's great. Where was I? So, level editors in the game. So, examples of level editors. Australians are not okay. No, we're great. We're great. So you can see Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has one. Tomb Raider has one. There's plenty of official ones. Age of Empires has their own level editors. The Bard's Tale, Baldur's Gate, Battlefield, Duke Nukem 3D, all the build engine games had their own level editor for people to make stuff, as well as all of the id Software games. You can see there's a whole bunch of level editors and stuff. The Deus Ex SDK had one, which was made in the first Unreal Engine. bread and sugar. Americans have literally no room to talk. Yeah, yeah. The Elder Scrolls construction set is another one that a lot of people would know, because Skyrim modding is a huge prolific area of the internet that many people have done already. Eating Fae food is a bad idea canonically, so fairy food is 100% not okay. Yeah, but we're Australian, we're descended from the Irish, therefore it's alright. And yes, the source editor. So, the source SDK. You can see is that the source SDK, that everything that Valve has ever made is available for you to use and build levels in. There's also 3 Clicks Philip, literally 13 years ago. And the SDK was out years before this even. So Half-Life has a prolific history with mods, if you go into the history side of things. Is the chronology kind of went from if you get a web whiteboard up. I was giving you hell anyway, those responsible sons of food atrocities. Yeah, but we can all agree we're not the British. Fucking jelly deal. Actually trying to make my own mod for Civ and never finished. Oof. Yeah, modding Civ I haven't tried. So yeah, the chronology for a lot of mod stuff is it started with Wolfenstein 3D. Then we moved on to Doom. And suddenly there was a whole level editor. And everything was packaged in WAD files. And you'll even see this today as we go on to Doom 2 and so on and so on and so on and so forth onwards, is that the WAD file was a revolution in terms of user-generated content, because suddenly you could very easily package these things, which in 1992 internet standards, amazing. Because before you'd have to do zip files, all sorts of weird stuff, you had to do instructions like unzip this file in this directory, overwrite these files, delete this one. Suddenly, you had a drop-inable WAD file where you could put in anything inside of it and it would run. So if we show you this, this is capable with WAD files. Because all the enemies, all the textures, all the logic, all the guns, all the map data was inside a WAD file. So, you may be thinking, what the hell is a WAD file then? I know it's a collection of all this stuff, but how do I actually do this myself? So, Doom is one of the first examples of modding, because these files are known as WADs, where's all the data, or WAD. Loads of dosh. Look at my WAD. They are literally just a custom file type that anyone can make. And so they have a header just like any other file. So this means this is at the beginning of each file. Yeah, it's a huge WAD. How's that, Aoki? Welcome to stream. At the first part of the file, they have a 4-byte identification number. That is either iWAD or pWAD, so it's whether it's a data one or a patch. Then they have the number of lumps and a pointer to the location of the directory. So simply, this is everything that you need to know for the info of the WAD. And then the directory contains all of the data for each lump. And so inside of that, you'll have the WAD file T, the header, lump data, and names of points of lumps. But what the fuck is a lump? Like, this doesn't help me. I don't know what a lump is. I wanna shoot Tim Allens. Well, everything is a lump. If I get the music back, please. So they have no restrictions on where lumps can be. So anything you modify, such as mapped... What the fuck? Wonderful. I love that those are... That's just there. Great. A map in Doom is made of several lumps, so each contains specific data to construct and execute the map. So, inside the first one is the internal name of the map. A lump is just a collection of bytes. It's just a collection of bits of data that you can edit. And so, one type of lump is the thing lump. So all of the things, aka monsters, and sprites, weapons, all of these can be editable. And so if we go and dissect one of these files, if we take a look at it, see patch file delimiters, all this stuff, let's see, oh yeah, the vertexes, here is the map stuff. So they have a special section specifically for vertices. And so all of the X and Y coordinates of each vertice that makes up the map, aka vertices being, where did I put the whiteboard? From a top-down view, each little corner on shapes like a Doom map might look like this. Like this. Each of these vertices would be recorded as 2 bytes inside of that lump. So they'd be solid next to each other like this. Like this one would be like 0, 0. This one is 0, 1. This one's 0, 1.5, etc, etc, etc. Obviously, that's an abstraction, but to the point, a WOD file is just a collection of data that is easily editable by a user. Usually they'll use like a big tool that compiles these automatically, but you can just straight up edit them yourself too. I went to play Spider a game called Little Fires with a pickle in between animation. That's great. And so you'll see some more complicated stuff that usually you'll get the mapping tools to do it, but let's see, dissecting a WOD file. Yeah, so here we go. So you'll see this will be like the map editor. This is for Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike also used some form of that. And you can see is that this is ultimately what a Doom map looks like. It is a collection of a whole bunch of vertices and points that connect to each other that just so happen to mean certain things. And so you can make a big penis if you wanted to by just connecting a whole bunch of dots around like this and putting that in the file. You could write them out by hand, or you use the mapping tools they give you. This is what that would look like rendered. Yeah, so this breaks down all those shapes and areas and volumes defined into a bunch of geometry that the computer then renders. This would be, for example, Counter-Strike WOD. So Counter-Strike also used a WOD format for some things. Because naturally, descending from Doom was Quake, descending from Quake was Quake 2, and then Half-Life came from that. Half-Life made the mod of Counter-Strike 1.6. So there's a lot of history that stems from Doom, because even as late as 9 years later, was it 9? I think closer to 6 or 8. Counter-Strike 1.6 was using these WOD files as well. So, if we can find a dump of one of these files, yeah, you can see this. There's a whole Doom forum dedicated to these. A 3D game with vertices would be in wireframe, different areas being difficult. Yeah. But since Doom is simulated 3D and not actually 3D, it'll just be individual data types. But if you extract open this Doom 2 WOD, you can see a whole bunch of patches, texts, maps, music, etc, etc inside of the game. If you don't know history, we're doing repeat it. Yeah. I wonder where is the WOD file Hex dump. Nice. Blood file as hex. Ah, there we go. So Anton's research ramblings. So this is also good research. Crack and open Doom WOD files. And so you can take a look through all of them. They have all of the data. And this is a binary file, so that means all of the data is just numbers. There's very little readable text inside of these. And so you can open up HexEdit and you can see this is a Doom WOD file. They actually do have some text around them, but this is for some, I believe, menu values. And so Doom 2 itself, as an entire WOD, has everything. A WOD file, had jacktext here, it hides some motherfucker. WOD is short for where is all the data. It is a funny way of saying that this is all the information for Doom stored in a single file. So you can swap that out if you want to. So you can see the first map and level will literally be located to E1, M1. And so the directory will have entry, size of the section blocks, number of the blocks, and offset of the file. Have the shadowlistic. First thing to do, I was talking to a toilet or broke my toe. Oh jeez. Definitely go to a doctor for that. If you're in a country where you can go to a doctor cheaply, I suppose. But yeah, you can read the header. He's doing it through C, where he's doing F read, F write, F seek. And he sees that 00BC C500 is where the header starts. Now, he writes some code to read through all this. Now, you don't do this in actually making the mods. This is for demonstration purposes. We can theoretically feed this any Doom mod, and this code will locate the header by looking for that specific sequence of bytes that is defined as the start of that header that you learned about. This one's reading the directory, and this one will extract all the contents. So, the color palette is actually stored in this file. Each pixel has its own color palette value. So yeah, the palette next holds the RGB color, so that was because, remember, computers weren't always amazing at colors. For example, the Apple II. Apple IIe colors. The Apple IIe had 16 colors capable, and the original Apple II and white. The original Apple was it Apple II or was it another one? Was a black and white Apple computer. Was it Apple IIe or was it something else? Oh, it was Macintosh, right? It was just the direct Macintosh. So this fella here, the Macintosh 128K. Hi, Ranthel, welcome to stream. Thank you. I'm glad you like the hair. So the original Macintosh actually had only black and white colors. So color in computers hasn't been around for very long. Hi, Archangel Lucifer, welcome to stream. How you doing? Hex code, great. I know hex code numbers. Thanks to Game Sharks. Oh yeah, I can do another explanation on hexadecimal as well. I feel young when you show these PCs. No worries, no worries. I aim to please. Anyone that remembers these, sorry to tell you, you have Ligma. One of the first Doom level letters came out in 1994. Yeah. Look up Apple computer inflation. I'm not sure I want to search inflation on stream. Historically, that's been a bad idea. But, hi Demonic Band-Aid, welcome to stream. As you can see, computers would resort to dithering and all sorts of other stuff to make sure that you could kind of represent gradients and different stuff, but it's still black and white. The Apple IIe had color though. Some of them were in just all green, but there was plenty of stuff that allowed for 16 colors, which is amazing. Guess what though? This is a case in history where the PC Master Race didn't actually exist. PCs could modify content, they could get custom stuff, you could write your own games for them. But, as is outlined in the Masters of Doom book that I highly recommend reading, it's the Masters of Doom. This book is really damn good. I highly suggest reading this. It's about Doom being created, Quake, Quake 2, Quake 3, and all of the drama behind id Software and John Carmack. Highly recommend. It's very great. Highlighting Slurth, welcome to stream. And thanks Tisha for the follow. Whole 16 colors, yeesh. Yeah. I love the goofy photo of them holding weapons. Oh yeah, it's so cute. It's so cute. The original Doom is iconic, sounds like a good read. Oh, it is. It goes into everything, like on the technical details of why they made them in the first place, how they got together as a team, all the struggles between it. It's fantastic. Like the head of 2K now holds Duke Nukem Random. Yeah, their 2K is a shitty company. Every time they come with the Dell Dimension 3000, we need the manual. Yeah, old Dells. Not fun. Imagine having more than 16 colors. No one will ever need more than 16 colors or 128 kilobytes of RAM. Ever. Mark my words. This 1985. No one will ever need more. Ever. But back on the original tangent of PCs were great at custom content because you could share it together. Admittedly, this was via tape boxes, cassettes, and floppy disks. Yes, there was something before floppy disks, by the way. So they used to have, if you see the Commodore 64 tape deck. So games weren't always delivered by, like, a lot of people that are a little younger think that floppy disk is like the oldest media storage format. Actually, no. Before that was cassettes. So cassettes weren't only for music, they are a way of representing data in a sequential fashion. In a very dense spool. Now these are great and a big step up over the computers they had before this. Yes, there was something even before this. Is you used to have computer program punch cards. You used to have reams and reams of paper that you would shove into a computer in order for it to generate the program on demand. These would be stacks of punch cards for one single program. Because you're representing all the bits, all the information tied between these for operational codes. So yeah, floppy disks are old. Cassettes are older. And then punch cards are what a lot of the first computers people actually had access to in universities were. So you'd have either you type out the code by hand after reading it from this, or you would do it yourself by punching it in. Hadronias, welcome to stream. As a kid, my only awareness of punch cards came from Simpsons jokes. Yeah, the punch cards also the origin of patches. Yes, so when you patched over something, you would literally just put some tape over one thing you accidentally cut out. Yeah. And the first bugs. Yeah, so the bugs, so the first, go into this, the first bug in programming. A moth was trapped inside a computer. So in 1947, the first computer bug was found when it came inside the computer. They had to literally debug it because I think it was dying in like the electrical lines or something. Yeah, but that was really cool. I am glad I was born in 2000. Yeah, okay, we can go about, oh, it's so much better in the old days. No, now is much better. Now it's much better for health reasons, technology access, education, and we're not also in the threat of constant nuclear war as well. So that's also pretty cool. I guess we're attracted to lamps in the computer. Yes, that is also one thing. There was definitely a lot more big lights in the computers because they didn't have LEDs back in the 40s. That's actually brilliant. Brings a whole new meaning of debugging. Yeah. And patching, so patching in computers. So the origin. A lot of these are literal. There's a reason why we call it debugging. There's a reason why we call it patching. Is because you used to literally just tape over the bits that you fucked up in the punch cards. You just put tape over them because the computer reads if there's a hole in a section. And then it does the corresponding bits. If you got it wrong, you just put some tape over it, you patched over it. So the first patches were if you made an incorrect little dunk out of the paper, and so you would literally put a piece of tape. I love the idea of Israeli tape in your areas, it's so ghetto. It's not ghetto, this is innovation. Because a dumb person would completely start again, but a pragmatic programmer would just put his piece of tape on it and say, yep, that's good. Thanks for the follow, Dreamiers. Welcome to stream. The old days is much better. Yeah, back in the old days, we had racism. Children that didn't live to 5. Huh. Yeah, I prefer now. Polio, we also had polio. And worldwide sexism. Yeah, the old, like, people say, oh, I miss the old days. No, they don't. Because most of the people that say they miss the old days are sitting on a TV or sitting on a phone browsing fucking Twitter or some other shitty social media website. My dad's old PC when it stops, so he just hits it hard. Yeah. That is percussive maintenance. When you beat the shit out of the machine. Thanks, I do some shit posting for the follow. Oh, heading to sleep? Good night. Child workers, let's go. Yeah, send them up the chimney, it'll be fine. People would say that type of white old dudes that reply to go on Facebook. Yeah, but they'll have the sunglasses, they'll be sitting in their car. They'll be like, I don't even want to show them on screen, they look gross. We have microwave resistant glassware like those, so it kind of evens out. Yeah. It said uranium inside a glass. So there was at one point a trend of uranium glassware. Yeah. It is pretty safe, but still. I'm glad I was born in this era. You can look at documented history, pretty good object. Oh, absolutely, we are doing pretty damn good, objectively. Hi, Hominera. Welcome to stream. Is the final frontier of gaming game modding? I suppose so, because it allows for user-generated content ad infinitum. So you don't really need to wait for game developers. Suddenly, the people are the developers. Because, yes, making games is as easy as it has ever been before. Because remember, an Unreal Engine 3 license. You would know from Unreal Engine 4 that you're allowed to do whatever you want. But Unreal Engine 3 had a licensing cost. If you wanted to use Unreal Engine 3 as a studio, it cost, let's see, what was the value? I remember people talking about it. It was, I believe, you paid only $350,000, but that was extra royalties. Or $750,000 to Epic Games, and you would get less royalties. So, game generation and development has been extraordinarily exploding because of easy tools. The Xbox Live Arcade was one of them as well. Some of the best games I've played in the last half decades have been indie games, some literally developed by a single person. Yeah, it's the easiest time ever, because before this, guess what you wanted to do if you made your own game? Flash. No, not this. Adobe Flash. Adobe Flash, not the speed dude. So if you wanted to make your own game, you had to use Flash, basically, which is actually how Alien Hominid, Castle Crashes, and a whole bunch of Newgrounds games eventually became full games. That was the first instance of real, like, homebrew development to actually make your own games. Before that, if you tie it back into the really, really old stuff, you had to do development kits or the computer. So for consoles on the NES, Nintendo wouldn't give out development kits to anyone. You had to be like an established company. You couldn't just make games for the NES. You couldn't just make games for the SNES. Theoretically you could, but there was no development kits for anyone outside of actual developers. Now, as for computers, there used to be games, Commodore 64 code magazine. So you used to look at the back of a magazine and they would give you the code for your games that you would write yourself into your Commodore 64. So you would write this code in letter by letter from the back of a magazine in 1985. And eventually, after you wrote all of this in over multiple pages, if you didn't fuck this up, if you managed to not fuck any of these letters up, you would get this. Is that Fortran? I believe it is. Sorry, Fortran Go. I'm not actually sure. I think it might be Fortran. But this is, I think, the... Oh no, it's basic. This is basic. So this is basic code. Good luck finding a typo. Yeah, so what you actually do is, if you make a mistake, start again. Yeah, if you fuck up, it's basically just start again. CD Wolf 3D, Wolf 3D. Yeah. Hi, Loudmouths, welcome to stream. So, this is what computers could do. This is still leagues and leaps and bounds above what you could do in a Nintendo system of the time. Sounds pretty cool. Now, this paves the way for the first actual case of people being able to mod stuff. It was around this time as well. If you can just copy down a game that someone else made, what if I change Link's values? And so, you could change some of the positions and stuff, and suddenly you create a different game. You could change the health, and now you've modded the game. You could change how fast you fire, and you modded the game. So this was an extremely easy way because you have the literal source code to the game. So as far as moddability of stuff goes, because there was all these little back of the magazine games you could do, you could mod them however you want to. Granted, they have pretty shitty variable names because of memory constraints at the time. They call these A and PP and Strig. But it's still pretty damn cool. So as far as, where'd I put the, is it this one? This one. If we make a little graph quickly showing, no, okay, it's broken. Okay, right click does that. Cool, gotcha. So if we make a little graph where it's like moddability. So moddability over time, it started there, and then as personal computers started becoming more popular, it was there, and then people started to buy their own software, and then Doom released, and then everything kind of spiraled up from there, with modern games being a little less moddable. So yeah, with this, you could edit your own stuff, you could theoretically do whatever you want because you literally had the source code. And then Doom and Quake released, and they had their own software, they had WAD files, they had their own modding tools. And suddenly, you could make games inside of games. You could do whatever the fuck you wanted, and the source engine, well sorry, the gold source engine, because that was the original Half-Life. The gold source engine released, and you can make entire games in that even more advanced. And that brings us on to Half-Life mods. In history, there has been an absolute shit ton of Half-Life mods that are so amazing. Yeah, we're gonna skip that one. Nice. But Counter-Strike 1.6. Hi B Hodge, welcome to stream. How you doing? There's also people lucky enough to have personal PCs, exchange games, and Cold War Soviet states. Yeah, because you couldn't actually ship technology. Technology's been a pretty restricted thing up until recently in history. So you couldn't actually straight up ship PC pods or just ship floppy disks because, especially in Soviet states during the Cold War, technology was considered a matter of national security. Counter-Strike 1.6 was a mod for Half-Life. It wasn't originally its own game. Because of modding tools, or the entire industry of first-person shooters competitively was kickstarted by this. As well as, what else? Defense of the Ancients. So Dota 2 wasn't always Dota 2. It was originally Dota 1 for Warcraft 3. So Dota was a mod for Warcraft 3. Hi Rage Ghost, welcome to the stream. Thank you Zycium for the follow. Yes, most of Valve's multiplayer properties are mods. Near Pripyat they had a top secret factory just to make a microcontrollers. Well, that's really cool. Why are so many game companies nowadays against modding? Because it affects their bottom line. If you make a game that has infinite replayability because of users making content for free, they're not going to buy your game. They're not going to buy your microtransactions. Modding games have, so if you say modding game psychologists for microtransactions. So they actually have a full team of psychologists that figure out the exact perfect way to extract money from you as a person. Now that naturally means battle passes, microtransactions for cosmetics, no access to user-generated content unless it is specifically on their server-hosted platform that you cannot reduce or extract anything from. It must be on their servers, aka Blizzard kind of let you do user-generated content with Overwatch, but you could only host on their servers, and you could only do it if they allowed you to. You guys be like Nintendo and shut down mods and fan games if you weren't chatting to begin with. Yeah, it kind of sucks. Thank you, B Hodge, for the sub. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Enjoy the emotes. Yeah, the Warcraft 3 custom game room. Beautiful place. Semiconductor factory. Oh yeah, fair enough. I prefer to give my money to Twitch streamers. Oh, sorry, I missed that. Yeah, thank you. Money is the main reason they've been able to re-release Skyrim for PC like 4 times. Yeah. The companies like Activision realize that if they allow people to mod their games very easily, they'll just keep playing them, and they won't buy the new ones. Pretty insidious way of using psychiatry. Also, yes. Because, if we take a look at this, the role of microtransactions in gaming disorder is they've pretty definitively been found to have directly tapped into the same mechanisms that a lot of gambling and casinos is designed around, which is shit. Yeah. We go down this. I think there is Blizzard behavioral psychologist. It's one of these ones is a behavioral psychologist. Yeah, Blizzard hires and uses psychologists to design Hearthstone. Yeah. Yeah. Companies have been spending an unfathomable amount of time and money to figure out how to hack your brain. Yeah, it's really, really unfortunate, but that is the reality of most AAA game dev studios now. It is about extracting the most amount of money as possible from you, using predatory practices, because guess what? Technology has always outpaced legislation in every instance of history. There is absolutely zero actual repercussions for anything they've done in the past. The only minor repercussions are saying, well, you can't do it that much further on. Tons of countries don't even have the anti-gambling laws for games now. There's some places that have banned loot boxes, and some places get around that by just giving you bundles and shit, because the laws don't actually account for a lot of things, and a lot of people just ignore them because, well, the fines are pretty minimal. Another thing about businesses is, say that you get a fine. You as a person, if I told you you had to pay $20,000, you're gonna be really sad. But if you are a business and you made $1 million from doing something, you made a profit of $1 million. If I told you, oh, you had to pay $250,000 in fines, guess what? That is a $750,000 profit. Because there's no jail time for anyone that makes a fine and these sort of things. This isn't a criminal case, it's a civil issue. This is known as a cost of doing business. So if they can get away with predatory practices, they absolutely will if they make more money just hitting the fine. Yeah, it needs to be a percentage fine and also repercussions for the CEOs. Because, well, if they can just keep getting away with a fine, then they're just gonna keep doing it. Cost of business, sounds like they get murdered. I mean, basically, if they could murder you and it makes them money and they get away with it, they absolutely would. And there's Gmod, comfy shit out there. Yeah, Gmod is good too. So, the first Gmod, as a bit of trivia, so the first Gmod was actually just about editing poses of people. Like, it was basically just directly editing the poses of characters before Source Filmmaker released. So the first Gmod release was 2006, and it was literally, we go into this one. Yeah. Images, is it like a video maybe? So I know there was a video of it, so the first... It's like a video of the first... Yeah. Ah, here it is! Evolution in Gary's Mod. So you used to be able to do that, and the first Gmod release, if you go onto it. My first mods are in Quake. Oh yeah, nice. Where actually is it? Because I remember it was literally just moving around. Yeah, this is Gary's Mod 1. So you could load custom maps, and you could do the fizz gun, where you would pick up any items you wanted to, and you repose ragdolls. Gmod was awesome when I played as a kid, but when I went back to it now, it's kind of creepy. In what way? From some old PC games, the textures, you just easily edit it. Yeah. Yeah, in Gary's Mod 2 added in NPC spawners. And yeah, the ragdolls and stuff. You were able to just modify ragdolls. There wasn't really custom content, it was just being able to pick up and pose stuff. And you can do slightly more complex stuff. This is where a whole bunch of YouTube poops happen. If you're on a construct, it feels a bit off. Yeah, it's very unsettling. First game modes is Age of Empires 2, or noise. Yeah, the silence and ambience. Oh yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand. What was it called? The Gary's mod shitbox or something. Yeah, it was something like this. The famous Gary's mod YouTube groups. Idiot box, that's right. So it wants me to verify my age. Hey guys, oh no. Oh no. I'm under 18. You know, it wants me to use my ID. So I'm just gonna be, well, we'll not see that tonight. But yeah, obviously that means I'm less than 18 years old. So jailbait. Kidding. Kidding. Where were we? Where were we? So it's tangents on that about modifying games, Dota being a mod, Half-Life being a mod, as well as behavioral psychologists for reasons why other ones weren't fully added. Yeah, age exposed. I am an 18-year-old schoolgirl, obviously. So yeah, WOD files are really damn cool.
I'm going to talk to you about a flaming osis. The flaming osis is like a flamingo.
Oh, good night, Marketista. Have a good sleep. Thanks for coming to stream. So, we've gone over our example of how we can do mod-friendly games. Because, well, they have custom tools that just replace files and directly put it inside the game, right? But let's now move on to moddable games that aren't mod-friendly. This is where the game is treated as hostile. It is an enemy combatant, and it will try its hardest to fuck you up. So, when the devs don't intend you to be able to modify files, that means you don't have tools available. You don't know the structure of the game. You don't know anything. So, what does that mean we do? Do we give up? We don't have the source code. Nope, that means we reverse engineer games. So reverse engineering games. There's a whole instance of technology on it. People even have fully backed up Final Fantasy X servers and run those themselves. So you can there's a community of people fully reverse engineering games. And yeah, you can use Ghidra. Ghidra is literally a tool made by the NSA for reverse engineering. That's not a joke. The National Security Agency literally released this. So, yeah. What Ghidra does is, if you take a look at it, it will decompile the source of a program and show you directly the program tree. It'll show you all of the assembly code that goes behind the program, and it'll show you the corresponding C code inside of a function. But, as you can see, it's a whole bunch of random letters and shit. It has a bunch of random stuff because function names aren't preserved inside of code. So a lot of debugging and reverse engineering these things is just figuring out what the hell anything actually is. And yeah, a lot of the most powerful cyber tools are actually by the NSA or the CIA. They said, hey, we value analyzing guys will love this, doing isn't for anything technically illegal. Glowy program, very sus. Yeah. And Tor was made with spies by the government as well. So, who made Tor? US Naval Research and US Navy Intelligence. So that platform that you go on to shitpost on the darknet was made by the US Navy. As well as the entire internet, actually. So, origin of the internet. Yeah, so the army actually made the internet with ARPANET. That then translated onto the rest of it. But yeah, it first came out in the USA. Instead of thought shooting algorithms made by the government as well. Yeah. Technically illegal doesn't mean it's not outright illegal. That's double negative. Oh, and someone mentioned the floppy disk being allowed into Soviet Russia. So interestingly, there is something known as the encryption wars. So the crypto wars. Guess what? Encryption used to be illegal. So that security in your browser used to be actually illegal. The US could theoretically deport you if you used it. Because they were concerned as a matter of security, they wanted to be able to spy on everyone. And they thought if people could use encryption, we can't see that they're doing illegal things. Oh no. So, hi Rakaja, welcome to the stream. Pretty sure it still is in places like North Korea. A lot of things are illegal in North Korea. I'm pretty sure smiling is apparently fucking illegal in North Korea. If you see them at a K-pop concert. But yeah, welcome. Mentioning that. North Koreans watching K-pop. Wait for it. Wait for it. Yeah, they're all fucking scared to smile, because if they smile, they'd be dishonoring North Korean culture instead of South Korean. And their entire family would probably be cut off. It'd be not amazing. Hi Lezu, welcome to stream, how you doing? Makes you wonder why they stopped caring. Well, there was a lot of government outcry and a lot of science prevailing that encryption is kind of necessary if you want banking to exist at all. Because if you didn't have encryption, imagine if you just logged into the bank. Oh, there you go, all your money's been taken. Because there's no encryption. Anyone in the same Wi-Fi network would just be able to take your password as you literally just use it. Anyone could just straight up watch all of the traffic from the entire world. I'm like, oh yeah, I see. I'm just plugged in my computer to this telephone box, and oh, there we go. That is a lot of data. So yeah, the crypto wars, if you go to Wikipedia on it, is during the Cold War era, naturally they didn't want the Soviets to have access to as advanced computers as they had. They could take pictures that generate with 9. No, that's dangerous. Oh no, oh no. I mean, without encryption, wouldn't that also mean everyone can just connect to your Wi-Fi too? Yes. The idea of it is that it's not no encryption for anyone. The idea of it was that there is no encryption for you. The government can still use it just fine. Just not you. Well, they shouldn't Bitcoin at each other, so yeah, that's the other thing. Historically, that is not the case. Is that there is crypto has been co-opted to mean the currencies. When in reality, it's a broad term for cryptography, which has a long history in the world in forms of code books, code phrases, algorithms. So, Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar was one of the pioneers of cryptography because he had the Caesar cipher. And so they would send notes with messengers set to a specific cipher level where they would shift the letters over, and so the people reading it would be like, what the fuck is this? That is a form of cryptography to obscure what the message was. Yeah, ancient spies writing things down backwards and shit. Cryptography as a concept has been around for eons. My password was a Caesar cipher on my name for like 10 years. Nice. It's pretty effective, most people can't read. Yeah, but naturally over time this got very easy to figure out. I used to be into cryptography, I had some kids Spygate kind of stuff. Oh, that's cute. Now I'm having Ultima flashbacks. Ugh. Ultima. Ugh. Oh, it's also these things I put in my pencil case for school bus. Yeah. In general channels, description is still encrypted. Yeah, that's the joke, it's still alive. But encryption, as part of cryptography, has been a thing for ages. It's just that recently, it's taken to mean currencies that are protected with cryptography. And so you'll see a lot of things like code books for cryptography. As there's plenty of just like straight up books that show you different types of encryptions. Code books are a thing frequently used by spies. They're also known as ciphers. Ciphers. So you can see is that the code word cannot would be 0. Cannula 1. Cannulated 2. And so all of these have different meanings. And so you need a code book in order to decrypt this cryptography. If you had a whole message full of cannot cannula canoe, canonized, cannabis. So yeah, we mean encryption and cryptography. That means the broad term of being able to take one message and hide its contents in a way that not everyone will be able to immediately understand what it means. You need to have some knowledge about how the cryptography works in order to decipher it. And then we have stuff like the Enigma machine. So the Enigma machine is what the Nazis created to communicate everything. So every day they would set in a certain cipher for the day. They would plug in certain switches, and each time you press the key, it would reset all of the other switches as well. It was a really advanced piece of cryptography for the time, but thanks to some mistakes in how they actually created it, Alan Turing and a whole bunch of other scientists in Greenwich were able to decipher it, which led to people winning. The Enigma machine's meaning has like 4 or 5 ways of creating different cipher. Yeah, it's really cool. Who win? A bunch of German scientists versus a gay British man. That's another thing, is that Alan Turing was gay. And I see some people not knowing that the purple poppy. So the purple poppy. Was it the purple poppy or like no, that's for dogs. The poppy for gay veterans. There's one of these. Yeah, there's a rainbow poppy. People were upset because, oh, you're pushing gay into the... No! Alan Turing, the forefather of computers, and also winning the fucking war against the Nazis, was gay. And the British people also chemically castrated him, leading him to suicide. As soon as the war was over, the British arrested him, put him under house surveillance, and castrated him for being gay. So yeah, that's the history of it. Is that people like, oh, Alan Turing, he solved the enigma thing. He saved the entire Western world from the Nazis because he was gay. As soon as the war was over, they chemically castrated him and kept him inside. So, just castrated him for being gay? Yes, that's what they used to do. It was really, really fucked up. The other side would have killed him too. Yeah, like the Nazis weren't exactly good with gays either. They also put gay people in concentration camps like Auschwitz. Sounds like something the Nazis did. Yeah, the British, remember, were a colossal empire that kind of fucked the entire world. People kind of forget that somehow. Is that over the last 100 years, because the British don't directly control colonies, map of British control of the world, 1800. The British had conquered all of this part of the world. Yeah, so the British weren't exactly the good guys. It just so happened that it aligns with our own history. So yeah, the British, fuck them. Yes, that is also a concept in history of enriching local culture, taming barbarians, aka cultural genocide usually, where even the Irish, so even the Irish were conquered by the Brits and had their own culture stamped out and erased because it wasn't Christian. It was not amazing, and they're literally neighbors. Thank you, Velik, for the follow. Welcome to stream. How you doing, sweetheart? We're going into history on the British Empire, the mistreatment of Alan Turing, which is all a bunch of Big Tens about encryption and modding games such as Doom, Source SDK. Yeah. So yeah, at the end of World War II, the British, knowing that Alan Turing was gay, chemically castrated him and drove him to suicide. Yeah. Nazis would have looked at the shit the English and Americans were doing and got inspired. Yeah, that's also the thing, is that a lot of people leave out conveniently in the history books, is eugenics wasn't a German thing. A lot of the concepts of the Nazis were just saying the quiet part out loud for a lot of really racist people. And that the world is kind of really fucking racist back then. So, Australia has a really, really big history pushed by the British for this. So, White Australia policy. Let's get into this. This wasn't taught in Australia until very recently. Is that they believed that if they took away all of the Aboriginal children from their parents, they could breed out Aboriginal people in 4 generations. They literally had a chart showing how whiter they got so that they weren't Aboriginal. So they thought if they take them away from their parents, they can just have them marry white people. And that, yeah, this is the forgotten or lost generation. Oh no, in Australia it's the stolen generation. This is really game modding. This is in a whole bunch of history and stuff as well as game modding. But yeah, this goes into the history of why governments don't necessarily have your best interests in mind. Which is why when I say that the government said, oh, we don't want you to have encryption, there's always the argument of, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. That is a partial argument because, quite frankly, any politician, you can say, well, what if you just show me all the pictures of your family, all the pictures of your daughter, show me where you live, post that publicly. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. Falls down under any reasonable amount of thought. It is a method for control of people by a government that really doesn't want you to have privacy. So, the crypto wars were a period in time where computers are advancing, technology was advancing extremely quickly. And so, computational power year on year was increasing at a ridiculous pace to the point where the encryption algorithms and passwords were failing because naturally a computer can just compute them easily. This encryption is useless in like 1 to 2 years because computer power just kept doubling. So, they're getting a little bit scared of that. And so they eventually actually mandated legally that the Soviet edition couldn't use more than 40 bits of encryption. The US could use 128-bit. But the international edition couldn't actually use the full encryption because they didn't want it internationally to be as secure. Yes, the US actually prevented outside countries from using encryption as effectively. Oh wait, sorry, this is what this is. I'm still mad that my first language is English, not Irish. Yeah, it's really shitty. I think my dad only just learnt like Gaelic from his grandparents. Well, not just now, but the only way he could learn it was from his grandparents. Was surprised Lily didn't let Sony Europeans call out Australia being they weren't wide enough. Yeah, that's also the thing is that remember is that Australia is a colony of prisoners and prison guards. Do you know any Irish? Personally, anymore? No, I kind of don't have any ties to family at all, really. Like, even as a kid, I didn't have much family. I'm sure even the stuff the room didn't go be considered concentration camps. That too, historically. Very yikes. Terrorists live in Australia, basically. And so, up until the 2000s, they were... Yeah, up until the late 90s, they specifically mandated that encryption can't be too complex because they were fearful of enemies of the state having access to encryption that they couldn't control. But did they say... Yeah, Bill Clinton signed an executive order saying that they could strike it from the list and that it wasn't necessarily a protected military technology anymore, and that encryption belonged to the public. Yeah, so that was a surprisingly good thing Bill Clinton seemed to do. Yeah. So through this whole tangent of control, reverse engineering, all this stuff comes back to video games. Hi, Mako, welcome to stream. How do you control the avatar? Yeah, it's with the iPhone Face ID facial tracking, as well as a camera using some video streams to do hand tracking. That's great. I suppose he did one good thing. Yeah. It's because Bill Clinton was Irish. Wait, was he actually? A tandem with a stopover in North Korea. Yeah. It really looks great. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. So, now that we have the history of encryption in games and technology in general, the motivations behind it, the motivations behind psychology. So now we have a whole bunch of games that aren't actually directly moddable. There's no mod tools, so we had to figure it out ourselves. One example of this is DLL injection. in hooks and manual replacement texture files, all that sort of good stuff. So a mod that does this was the XCOM Enemy Unknown Long War mod. Because XCOM Enemy Unknown isn't actually moddable. It has no tools at all. XCOM 2 is, but XCOM Enemy Unknown had nothing. The way they had to do this, so how does the Long War mod work without mod tools? Do they actually have it? No, but they directly hook into the game. So that leads into hooking. So hooking as a concept is when you change the behavior of an application by overriding what some code should do. This can be malicious, this can be good, this can be, like Vtuber says, and used in a lot of Windows hacks. Typically, it'll be via DLL injection. So DLLs are dynamically linked libraries. So they're these little things you'll see. DLLs in folder. So there's little gear icon things you'll see, DLL next to stuff. If I show you some of these. They're all these things you see inside of your folders. They are dynamically linked libraries, aka these are swap in and outable. That's their entire point of it. They are dynamic. If it was statically linked, these DLL files would instead be embedded inside of the executable themselves. But that naturally makes an executable really big, and each time they want to make any modifications to versions or updating software, they'd have to recompile the entire thing and re-release the entire executable. By having these libraries, so libraries are collections of code, inside of their own little dynamic files, that means game updates. If there is a update to encoding, you only modify this file. But if there is, say, Fortnite does this really shittily, is with the Unreal Engine games, you'll notice that Unreal Engine games have a huge update size for anything. They'll be like multiple gigabytes to do any tiny thing. The reason why is because they don't typically use dynamic libraries. A lot of them are embedded into the executable and in proprietary Unreal Engine files. So man in the middle with the game code. Basically, yes, that's a good way to explain it. Okay, what's the literal origin of hooking? So origin of hooking in programming. Is it like the actual one? Yeah. I'm not sure if there's like a little one. I think this is more just directly allows you to change the behavior. I'm not sure it has like a proper one. Thanks, Moa Dub, for the follow. Good things that you don't worry about dependencies as much. Yeah. So, what this looks like, typically, is you have virtual function tables. And these virtual function tables are actually modifiable because of pointers and stuff. Now, this is code. This is scary. This is a lot of C++ stuff. Don't worry. This isn't necessarily anything you need to know about. Essentially, imagine a whole big table of stuff. Where's my whiteboard? There we go. Let's put that over there. So, a program has a table of functions that use this. So let's say this is our load function. This is our reading. This is saving the game. This is reloading, etc, etc, etc. Each of these connects to some function in memory. So this will be either load function. This would be a read function. And then a lot of optimizations inside of games use virtual function tables. Because this is how DLLs work. They are virtually there, but not really in the code because they're dynamically linked. You can swap them in and out. That's the whole point of a dynamic file, is you can change out that specific DLL file for another DLL file that is the same definitions, and it should work. Hi Monty, welcome to stream. Hi Not Smart AI, how you doing? C++ that I wasted 10 months of my life on. Oh yeah. It is a doozy to learn. Even Bjorn Strustrup doesn't actually know everything in C++, and he made the language. Beat Saber uses DLL for modern plugins. Yeah, because Beat Saber isn't natively moddable. They had to hack that in. That's why the game, whenever Beat Saber updates, they had to recompile everything for those specific new DLLs released. Because the Beat Saber team at Oculus doesn't actually really want you to be able to mod it really, because it cuts into their bottom line, and also it's kind of landing them in some legal trouble. We are doing well. Yeah, feel free to tell a joke about C++. Something has noticed that change in DLL and so you can have adverse effects. Serious Sam 3 will spawn unkillable scorpion enemy that will chase you down in the game experience. Yeah, Serious Sam 3, that is part of its DRM, which is its digital rights management, copyright protection. So in Serious Sam 3, if you are caught trying to modify the game files, it automatically treats that as you circumventing by pirating the game. Even if it's just modding the game that you already bought, any files modified, it'll take that as, oh, you're trying to crack the game, and spawns an unkillable thing to kill you. Hi Jean, how you doing? Welcome to stream. How you doing, sweetheart? Did you survive Dead Space? There's a great video about Sparrow's copy protection floating around somewhere. Ooh, that'll be fun. But back to these virtual function tables. Since we have a whole bunch of these indexes, and these just point to the ones, well, we can change where they point to. And part of hooking is creating some other way. So instead of on the load function, so now we load our game, let's say we kill all NPCs for reloads. We made this function that will kill all NPCs in the game. And if you can redirect the reload function, so whenever we reload our gun, we kill all the NPCs, that is modding the game. But in a way that it wasn't actually intended from the developers. I like the Dead Space survive me. Oh, a nice kill of the Necromorphs. Yeah, I love Dead Space. So, we can literally, if we go scroll down a little bit, where is it? The Windows ones. Anyway, with this one, we have the original function, and then we just change in the pointer table to our own virtual one, and we restore it, and suddenly when we call this function, it's now pointing to something else. Do your model's lighting change, or am I just tripping? It should still be the same. It should still be the same. Not as bad as Earthbound. Get the final boss game, freezes, restarts itself, your save is gone. Oh, Jesus Christ, that is cruel. Missing gems and eggs. Once you beat the sorceress, the game deletes your save and crashes. Ouch. Where was I? So DLL injection is a way of actually, you know, it's all well and good for us to be able to say, alright, we have hook functions and stuff, we have these ways to modify our code, but there's no good if we can't actually do it. So DLL injection is the way of actually injecting these hooks into the code, is by forcing it to load a dynamic link library. This is the way that a lot of mods like Reshade work, because DirectX 9 DLLs. As you'll see is that there's a whole bunch of DirectX 9 DLLs, usually called D3, D9, where you can actually directly modify these in the folders. So you'll see like D setup, all these other ones inside the folder. You can create your own DirectX 9 library and load that instead. In some game modes used to swap out data and memory RAM. I believe so, yeah. Hi, not a wise girl. Welcome to stream. Thank you for the follow. considering it's changing very subtly. It shouldn't. There shouldn't be anything wrong. I think it like freezes sometimes because VTube Studio is glitchy lately, but it shouldn't actually be. It shouldn't actually be whatchamacallit it. Changing the lighting. Where was I? So DLL injection. There's multiple ways you can do this. So Windows actually loads the DLLs in our registry entries. So you could put them there, or you can put them into some way where you literally just inject the DLL by starting threads. Or you can just directly replace them inside of the directory. So you could start it, and this is how cheats work. So cheats use process manipulation, where they try and force the DLL inside of the game when it's not actually meant to be there. So that's how a lot of cheats work, is they force them in during runtime. And so that way they don't directly modify the game file's contents, they add it in extra. So how does enabling and disabling mods work? So enabling mods in a packaged way would be like just turning off a setting and like enabling this mod to overwrite the textures. But in a way, in a game that doesn't really allow you to mod games, it requires a little more manual editing. So that's why you'll have to go through and edit those DLL files, because they're using DLL injection to directly overwrite the game and rendering engine's functions to do the mod content. So you'll see reshade. So reshade, modifying DLLs, is it'll directly take the DirectX 9 dynamic library, and if we have this, yeah. Now that's kind of useless, but reshade installation. You should see that it tells you to put the DLL inside of that directory. Why is this a 4? Why is it not official? What the fuck? Thank you, Reshade. Yeah, Cheat Engine is more memory editing. It's still technically modifying, but these types of modifications are more so actually permanent, because you're directly modifying files. Can't believe Mako's teaching us how to crack games and pirate them. I'm not teaching you how to crack games and pirate them. No. Hold on, I go to my fan on. It's actually kind of hot in my room. Alright. So. What Reshade does is it'll directly modify DirectX end user runtimes in the DLLs. That will be by overriding the one used by the game engine. So what that means is, if we imagine a game engine, this is your monitor, this is the game, this is like cola pooty, like pew pew pew. What this game needs is the renderer. For a lot of games, it'll be like DirectX 9. So d3d9.dll. It'll look at this file for all the information on how to render your polygons. So all this stuff is like 3D models, how to render them. And all of the calls necessary for that. But how Reshade works as a mod is by overriding this with their own one called the same thing. So d3d9dl that has extra code beside of it. So it'll be like, whenever you render a model, you'll also add bloom. So also add bloom to that model whenever you render it. Whenever you put in something, it will do something else. So it's a way of, the rendering pipeline. Yeah. So this is a lot like how NVIDIA's RTX Remix works. So reshade is very similar to how RTX Remix will work because it's just editing DLL files with DLL injection. Yeah, it's really cool. For example, APSSC emulation settings, which also uses DirectX 9 DLLs to render graphics either smoother or sharper edges. Yeah, so you can have full emulation. You can say, alright, if I want sharper edges, I'll use this version of DirectX 9 that uses integer scaling. But if I want anti-aliasing, I'll instead direct it to this version that uses bilinear scaling. Hi Kage, welcome to stream. How you doing? So, if you use integer scaling, it'll be locked to grids like this, but if you use bilinear scaling, it'll go through like this. So it's the same type of file. It renders stuff. So both of these, if we type this out, both render 3D. But how they do them depends on the code inside of that dynamic, aka changeable, linked library. So this one does it with integer scaling, aka in steps. This one does it with linear scaling, a line. And so that's how you can change the PlayStation 1's graphics. You use multiple switch-outable libraries really easily. It's amazing how computers do all these things in a snap. Yeah, it's really, really cool. It's one of the reasons why I love computer science. There's all these things you can do with it. So yeah, that is DLL injection and hooking in games. Oh my god, SATS emulation does it. Yeah. So when you actually render stuff, for one thing, emulation is taking a CPU and all the instructions like load into a register of 0x blah 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 blah. All these instructions, it's running them locally in a simulated environment. Yeah, that's either high-level emulation or low-level emulation. For example, a MIPS emulator will be doing all the instructions with a simulated data structure representing all of the registers. So these will hold like their own values of 8, and any instructions will just directly modify these variables in the system. The other type of emulation will directly run on your own CPU and run it this way. This is like full emulation where you put the system inside of a program. A lot of antivirus back in the day with pick-a-fit or injection modding. Yeah. Also, the reason this happens is, say this is the original and you want to use the integer scaling, you can swap it out. Valorant will actually prevent DLL injection. So Valorant, it has its own anti-cheat. What it does is it looks for DLL injection. It has some digitally signed libraries. So everything must be signed by Riot. So only someone with access to Riot's keys can confirm a DLL that will be able to be injected into the game. Riot's anti-cheat is fucking kernel level. That's why it's good to catch people. It's not good overall for security because the ability to do all these things and catch all these DLL injections is only granted with kernel permissions. AKA, Valorant's anti-cheat runs at the same time as your computer boots up. So, before you even logged into Windows, Valorant's anti-cheat is checking to see if your motherboard has memory that has loaded a whole bunch of cheats into it. without even being inside of the file system. It is extremely, extremely intrusive. But this is what people don't get, is they say, oh, it's kernel permissions, but it's a big company, so it's fine. No, big companies are fucking stupid. E.g., let's take a look at a big company recently that made a massive fuck up. Optus data breach. 10 million Australians had their private data leaked because they were stupid. It doesn't matter if a company is trustable or not. What you have is a Ring 0 level anti-cheat. This runs as your computer starts up. That's really bad. And Genshin, so Genshin Ring 0 cheat leads to backdoor. So ransomware abuses Genshin Impact's kernel mode to bypass antivirus protection. Because they can piggyback off of Genshin Impact's access to the absolute base of the operating system, the antivirus doesn't even get to touch it. Yeah. If you take a look at the story, you don't even need to have installed Genshin Impact. You don't need to have installed it. The reason why is because these Valorant's anti-cheat is signed as, yep, that's all good and safe by Microsoft. Microsoft said, yep, Valorant and Genshin completely safe. So it will never ever complain if you try and install it on your PC. But where was the reason of it? Yeah, MH Pirates is can be integrated in any malware because the driver was signed by Microsoft as saying, "Yep, this is safe. It is completely able to be installed on any computer. We won't complain about anti-cheat." It gets ignored, and any antivirus will not pick it up. Arguably, you can say that Genshin should not have had access to a Ring 0 cheat, and this should not have been granted by Microsoft. But Genshin has a lot of money. So, yeah. Ideally, you don't want your important data on any PC connected to the internet. Ideally, but that's impossible nowadays. Good luck. Facebook builds a shadow profile of literally everyone, and if you think they've stopped doing it because they've gotten in trouble for it multiple times, they've gotten in trouble for it multiple times. They're still doing it. Anti-cheat has really good intentions, but it's proven to be near impossible to realistically use without fucking over the end user. Sadly, yes. Sometimes it's weird stuff like how Elden Ring and Fortnite have the same anti-cheat, but it stays in different places and has a hits you if you accidentally open both. Yeah, easy anti-cheat is pretty shitty, honestly. There's a whole bunch of issues with easy anti-cheat. And I believe VRChat implementing that lately prevented a lot of mods from actually working, which is a huge controversy because most of the VRChat community relied on mods in order to do special things like, aka for the disabled, walk in VR. Facebook, everyone does it, exactly. Being a Facebook moderator is the most PTSD-inducing thing that can happen to someone. Yeah, I would not wish that on someone. That is my worst enemy. Being a Facebook moderator sucks. Yeah, it's not VR chat without mods. What do you need anti-cheat in a single-player game, SMH? Yeah. Well, Elden Ring is also multiplayer, so there's like PvP and stuff. They have shit like Escape from Tarkov where every single item array gets loaded in memory and they just trust the client not to access and find everything. Yeah, Eurojank doesn't have a great history of security. Oh wait, it says the... Yeah, it stopped again. Corporations are being increasingly overly intrusive, overstepping bounds and becoming dystopian. Yes. Unfortunately, yes. As like we said in our earlier tangent, if the cost of doing business is just a fine, and they make more money than the fine, they will continue to do wrong things. Because the whole concept of, oh, just let the companies police themselves doesn't work ever. Because fundamentally as consumers, people want the cheapest thing, and they just want whatever product is really given to them in the end. If a company can make something for cheaper and sell it cheaper by doing a whole bunch of unethical things, they will do it. That's not unethical in business. That is just business, which is why letting them police themselves is a really fucking bad idea. W and Microsoft being sued for antitrust by the government until they handed over 400k and lobbying money. Yeah, also that. That was not good. Historically. Embrace, let's go onto Google actually. Embrace, extend, extinguish. This was a philosophy used by Microsoft in the 90s. The Department of Justice found this and were like, what the fuck? So, embrace and extend. That is Microsoft's pushing themselves into a space. So develop software substantially compatible with competing products or implementing a public standard. Extend. Addition and promotion of features not supported by the standard that other people have access to, which make interoperability problems for customers who try to use a simple standard. And then comes extinguish. When extensions become a de facto standard because of the dominant market share, they marginalize competitors that do not or cannot support the new extensions, and those competitors die. That was Microsoft's entire strategy. And naturally, Microsoft says, oh, this isn't anti-competitive, we're just giving people what they want by taking over everything like a parasite. It wants the mods age of invites too, when I'm going to third expansion. That was originally a mod. Yeah, exactly. If the worst thing they get for something that makes them a bunch of money is a fine that doesn't even 1% of the yearly profit, why do they not do it over and over again? Yeah, there needs to be actual punishments for these kind of fuck-ups. Chrome's removing ad block. Also, yeah, Chrome is removing ad block. So ad block can be thought of like a modification to your daily internet usage. Unfortunately, the way that ad block works will be completely deprecated eventually. It's been in the works for quite a while, and it looks like Chrome is taking a definitive stance that they do not want ad blockers to be able to be installed, so that kind of sucks. How many slaps in the wrist till the wrist falls off? Surely must be coming and say, oh yeah, just give them some slap more fines. Yeah, they'll definitely stop. They'll definitely stop. 100%. It's already noticeably worse in Chrome than Firefox. Also, yeah, and yeah, uBlock Origin is the only ad blocker that hasn't yet sold out, because AdBlock, the original one, eventually sold itself to a company that, guess what, runs ads. AdBlock Plus decided to take in a whitelist, aka some of the less things through, of ads that are acceptable. for money, of course. They got money for that. You know how many slaps it takes to cook a chicken? That is true. That was a funny video. Man, I wonder why. Really, Google's also getting paid ad money. Yeah, so Google owning a lot of the ad infrastructure of the internet is a big issue when it comes to all of this. Kind of a monopoly when you think about it that way. Now back onto that original Doom mod. As you can see, as the color palettes are actually just stored contiguously in 1024 bytes. That's pretty cool. And the flats are those lumps we mentioned before earlier. That is each pixel from the palette, so each time you see a lump, you just go back to this. Like we talked about Doom, we are, if I show you how many tangents deep we are, how many tangents we've just gone through. That many. We've gone through that many tangents. We do a little bit of trolling and a little bit of tangents today. Should I see a dog to figure his lumps? Yes, yes. If your lumps do not have palette values, that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. But yeah, that's cool. This is how the game actually renders it. Apple II colors, cassettes, punch cards, patching, structure stuff, prior to RTX graphics cards, power consumption, grilling. It literally looks like a grill. Thread rippers. RTX remix. This is where we were, I think, 2 hours ago. I mean, this is basically a tangent, the stream. So, you can make this text a little bit bigger. So you can modify these games with that DLL injection like we mentioned. So this is the actual stack overview of this. So there's the original D3 runtime. So all of this has now prepared you to understand by DLL injection and hooking, instead of having this original DirectX 9 runtime, we swap it out within the video's own runtime, where they convert it from 32-bit to 64-bit. Then they convert it over to Vulkan, that new fancy renderer you would have heard about. And they figure out all the lights, cameras, textures, and geometry using that proprietary USD capture, well not proprietary, the open source format that they figured out. So using all of the information from the game itself, they then feed it into the RTX renderer with all these technologies and go from the original assets to replacing them. So you'll see the old assets get swapped out with the new ones. You're calling for technology and love my genies to make you Superman. Oh, hi Cleo, welcome back. Gal pals check out each other's lumps. Yeah, I'll put it that way. Mocking classes like this or the structure. No, this is not like a proper class that I teach. This is insane ramblings, because at any point in time, people jump in and out of a stream. If it is a structured class, they're not going to know the content before it. So we go from tangent to tangent, where they're mostly kind of self-contained with some ties between each of them, so that it's like little bite-sized pieces of education. So anyone watching this will be like, oh, I can understand this thing because I just got here. Whereas if this is like a full class, you're like, yeah, you need 7 hours of prerequisite content. Then you're like, oh, I'm gonna go watch Minecraft. That's gonna make big fat GPUs always. Yes. Thick GPUs. Hi PP, how many blood uses rides up? So yeah, based off all what we learned just before, NVIDIA is doing the same thing that modders have used, just in a more fancy way with their own level editor and toolset attached to it. Instead of having the original runtime DLL, they swap it to RTX Remix's DLL. And does all these fancy stuffs instead of the original rendering calls. You can learn about build engine now. Oh, we can do some we can do some build engine stuff too. Humans are stupid creatures, they only retain information in short bursts. Yeah, that reminds me. So next tangent is TikTok. Also, again, Universal Scene Description USD is a dumb fucking algorithm for it. Please choose something else. TikTok attention span. It's gotten really, really badly lately. And people have attention spans in the 20 to 30 seconds range. Kids are now just being chucked in front of iPads and phones and just like vegetating out because they just have a constant stream of content, and that content is not geared towards long-term thinking. It is short clips of mostly shitposts. So we're now growing our children on shitposts. That's not good. That's really bad. It's not gonna seem so dumb when America loves Bitcoin. I don't think they will. This is as someone who likes crypto and believes in it in the future. There is no way in hell that Bitcoin is the currency the US is going to use. Ever. Isn't it a stupid rule for content creators that they need something happening like every 7 to 10 seconds and those people stop paying attention? Yes. People's attention is fickle. So, if we go down to this. If you guys would look at the screen, notice what happens. It's first off, you hear my voice. So you have auditory. You see the flicks and subtle movement on my hair. So you have visual. That looks terrifying, but there we go. You see things. Monkey neuron activation moment. But you also need to be entertained. So it's not enough to just hear sounds and see things. They need to be moving in a certain way that your brain likes. Usually, that means it needs to look like this. It kind of looks like a boob chin, but you get the point. Yeah. So if I do this and just kind of leave it there for a second to demonstrate a point. Yeah, see, I'm getting a lot of participation from just this. So, because the human brain is kind of wired to dopamine hits, very actively looking away. Good. Good. Avert your eyes. Do not gaze upon the chest. Also, okay, it's the crabs. See, that's their first time chat. Their neurons have been activated and instantly get someone to chat for the first time. So, if something isn't happening every 7 to 10 seconds, someone will click away because there is content that will activate dopamine. Dopamine is the same thing that cocaine does. It's also what hugs do. And coincidentally, it's also what all the other NSFW feelings do. And what TikTok manages to lunge into. TikTok latches directly into the dopamine center of your brain by giving you short form content in really tiny digestible bursts that essentially is conditioning you to be addicted to it. Because see booba, see dance, see funny, all in the space of 10 seconds. For example, in a TV show, a typical TV show is 20 minutes to an hour for you to reach all of those same things. TikTok, 10 seconds. a TV show or YouTube video could be this long. Naturally, YouTube eventually gravitated towards, I think it's like 10-minute videos. So that was short still, and then they have 5-minute and etc, etc, etc. But predominantly, YouTube is still at least some long-form content. TikTok has a maximum runtime. You can't have 10 minutes videos very easily. You do a whole bunch of stupid bullshit for those. It also affects your sleep. Yeah, dopamine also affects your sleep. Exposure to light from a phone directly into your eyes also affects your sleep. It keeps you awake longer. Your eyes, when they receive light, don't blink. That keeps you awake longer. And every bit of light you see, especially blue light, there's a reason why there's blue light filters and night mode on basically all phones now. Is because blue light is really not great for your sleep cycles. Hi Slime Slime Slime, welcome to the stream. Hi Jesus. I recently thought of how bizarre 10-minute videos of LA YouTube. I thought that seemed way too short now. Yeah, remember is that when you go onto the History Channel as a kid. So the History Channel. That would frequently be multi-hour documentaries. So 1 to 2 hour documentaries that are very factual that people would watch. Or you'd have stuff like MTV, which is like 30-minute shows. Now, you very frequently have a lot of shows that are broken down into 3 minutes of content with a bunch of fucking sounds. Like, you'll hear like a swing, you hear a whole bunch of violins, you hear swearing. You'll maybe even see some chick bounce her boobs a lot. All in like 3 minutes, and nothing really happens. This is the American approach to TV. So if you see Hell's Kitchen USA sounds. This is pure neuron activation of a whole bunch of random shit. And then every time it does it, so Hell's Kitchen sound effects. Every 3 goddamn seconds. This one, any tense moment you'll hear. Every goddamn time. That sound makes me scream. My monkey brain hates it. Some people like it, some people hate it, because it taps into that same sense in your brain, like like nails on a chalkboard. It is activating your fight or flight instinct, which makes you engaged. That is releasing dopamine, endorphins, all sorts of stuff in your brain, because you're like, oh, that makes my back all tingly and feel bad. Because that's a horrible sound. Big Bang Theory, I thought the love track. Yeah, also Big Bang Theory is not funny at all. It makes me want to die. Americans like babies. You need to placate them with funny noise every few seconds. Yeah, because if you compare British Hell's Kitchen versus American.
Okay, right, come here. Just stop everybody, yeah? I mean, stop. Come here, you. Come here. Shut up.
This is British.
I'm talking. That was a disaster. Listen to me.
I'm not gonna listen to you.
This is American.
I'm not in denial.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And you can't even accept it.
Fuck
You'll
you.
walk out again.
I am. Fuck you.
Pull ourselves together a little bit and get
British?
ourselves out of the shit, because in 15 minutes, this place is going to be the biggest shithole in Wales. You, shut it, okay? Back in your corner and listen to what's going on. Do you hear what I said?
Yeah, it's like Vine
Do
Boons.
it. Right, let's go.
Stuff what?
Mushroom.
Smell that! Smell it! That's fucking older than me! Smell it! Go on!
That's your sauce, Daryl.
What in the fuck is this?
Why is it like the Marvel soundtrack of dun 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 dun?
Definitely old.
It doesn't make sense.
Green.
It is ridiculously
When are they
over
from?
the top. And back to British, it's just like that is with dudes.
No, so what the fuck are they doing in the fridge? It looks like rabbit shit, that one.
That's just some lentils.
Oh, this one's stuck to the fucking glass. Yeah, it looks
Yeah, like the
shit
British
turd
Hell's Kitchen is
that's
a
been
ton
infested with
nicer.
ants.
The American one.
The freshness. That's my stuff. Really? Fuck me. Seriously? Why throw my lemons like that for? Why are you taking my product? They're molding you.
It's funny,
Those are from today. Those are not
but in
gonna
a
be
horrible way.
Oh, they're not going to serve the public. They're just from this morning.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about things. Well, this is music to tell me how to feel.
And especially with sending it back.
And let me just tell you something. You know, in terms of well done, look, we praised it. What is that?
That's well done.
That is well done, so stop bringing me shit!
What about this, Gordon?
That is well done!
What about this?
It's well done! Look at it, it's well done, we praised it!
That looks pink to me.
That's gristle, you fucking idiot!
Okay.
What is that?
Gristle.
Look!
Yeah.
Look, it's white inside!
Okay, I'll tell it.
Oh my god!
American Gordon versus British Gordon. Oh, British Gordon, definitely. But American, no. Yeah, I'm running out of tabs. The only man that can make a voice crack sound threatening. Yeah, actually, that's the thing, Baby Gordon Ramsay with P.R. White. So P.R. White was Gordon Ramsay's teacher. Here we go.
Quickly, come on, mate.
As you'll see, this is previously one of the top, most well-known chefs in the world. He was a professional
Marco's
footballer.
Latin temper
Oh
is
wow.
notorious.
I guess clear.
His
I'll explain the
reputation
Big
for
Bang
being
Theory
difficult
jokes to you.
has
Don't
made
worry,
good
don't
copy
worry.
For the newspapers and for Marco's scrapbook.
Holy shit, this is... This feels very 80s. Yeah, that's Mako Fukasame. He was basically Gordon Ramsay before Gordon Ramsay. So, very rude, very abrasive, kind of abusive, but a very talented chef. And so you'll see, let's see. Young Gordon Ramsay. There.
And so
Yeah, Gordon does have a
basically your
black belt, I
lobster
think.
ravioli mix now, which has been
The
bound with the
Palpatine
salmon
to
mixture.
Gordon's Darth Vader.
And
Yeah,
that will be
yeah.
put in the fridge just to chill. Then we'll make the raviolis of lobster.
Oh, we got injured. Okay. That makes sense.
This is the actual
Yeah, he's a
rolling of the
multi-talented
pasta now.
prick.
It's actually it's flour, salt, eggs, egg yolks, and little olive oil. And when we do this job, it always takes more than one. Otherwise, the pasta actually sort of, you can't get it thin enough because it takes two, one to feed it in and one to bring it out.
You used to eat it every day as a child.
Yeah, every day. I don't think I saw real
You see
meat
Gordon
about
just up to
7,
the side like, yes,
6.
Pia, yes,
I
Pia.
prefer pasta to vegetables.
Flatten the pasta, flatten the pasta.
Oh, we finished. Oh, right, I didn't realise. Have you gone through twice? Yes. So now that's just a vegetable.
Just a little baby Gordon, just, yes.
I mean, oh, we finished. Oh, right, I didn't realise. Have you gone through twice? Yes. Oh, right. So now that's come through, you can see how
It's
fine
so
it's actually
cute.
got. And so now it's ready to be cut and then made into the ravioli. So.
Yeah, need more stock pots, need more stock pots.
So now we pair them up.
This pasta's become a hallmark of Harvey's, hasn't it?
I mean, it's so
He
versatile.
looks, he does kind of look exactly the same, but
Can I
he
do
does look a
million?
little younger now. And then this
when
one.
you make the
It's that hair. The forehead lines, it's the trademark forehead lines are still there. Oh, there's some people outside. Hold up. Hezron, why does he already have lines? Yeah, it's a little it's interesting. Hello, I'll close my window. Alright, there we go. Window is closed. We should be all safe. And you leave it open, how else do I get in? Shush. But yeah. Back to our start of stream tangent. How the hell do I buy a 4090 when it's legitimately $4,000 for a lot of these? And $3K at the least. Clear, people use dollars in our society. Not clear, she's a skinwalker. Oh wait, Mark, do you have a signature dish? Well, that's a good question. Not really, actually. I know how to make a couple of different things, but I don't really have like a signature dish. Sandwiches, that's right. I did work in Subway as a sandwich artist. So, I guess technically sandwiches. I'm a fully accredited sandwich artist. The 30 series will do just fine. Yeah, I'm probably gonna upgrade to like a 3080. What do you want a 4090 for? AI. Research stuff. Very fun. Needs a GPU. It takes me 22 seconds to generate a single image on my 1080. Your sandwich game is actually top tier. Okay, I'll show you some of my sandwiches. So, from me. Oh, hello to the streamer. From me in consume as image. So this is a sandwich I made recently. A very good sandwich. Another sandwich I made recently. Made this full. Even did the folding stuff. I made this fellow too. I made a lot of sandwiches for HelloFresh because I wanted to save money on not eating out. Yeah. So far they all look edible, so that's good. Yeah. There's a sugar on your sandwich. Why would there be sugar on my sandwich? I'm glad you appreciate the artistry of the sandwich. So you much like onions, sandwiches have layers. And you gotta make sure you place the layers correctly. Do I have any other sandwiches that I've made? I took a horrible photo. I took a horrible photo, like, I was like, oh fuck, I forgot to take a photo of my sandwich. There's a photo of the... As I'm mid-eating it, plate on my lap. Clear. Making a hag sandwich that's a little sussy, I am afraid. What else? Oh, I've also baked cookies. I also baked some cookies. Is your hand small or is this entirely bread? I'd say my hands are about average size. But yeah. They're huge, yes. They're quite big cookies, they're very good. Very gooey. Just like Mama used to make. Cleo has such a nice life. Yeah, I cook, I clean. I beat myself. I'm self-cleaning, self-beatings. Yeah, domestic goddess. Cleo contributes literally nothing but innuendo. Accurate, but she is cute, so it's okay. Domestic girlfriend. Oh Christ, don't remind me that one. Don't remind me that one. Oh yeah, speaking of food, so there's this restaurant this Thai restaurant in Sydney that just has Transformers in the middle of the fucking restaurant for sale. They just have like a full-on whole-ass Thai restaurant. And they just have these gigantic 8 feet tall Transformers at the door. And like, yeah, you can buy these like $20,000. So if you go back to Google. Okay, I'm not old. Ignore me. Transformers in Thai restaurant, Sydney. Yeah, Thai Patong. Enormous handcrafted Transformer statues. So if you take a look at this, it's this gigantic, beautiful Thai restaurant inside with all this traditional Thai decor. And at the front, they have, these there's also some xenomorphs as well, apparently. These guys, I wonder if I can zoom into the price tag. Let's see. No, I remember it was in like the multiple thousands. I think like eight to 10 or $20,000 or something. Yeah, Decepticons hate Thai food. I don't think they've ever sold one. Like, ever. I think it's just like an ad. I eat Thai food a lot, so this is hidden me where I live. Yeah, can you take me there? Alright, if you ever come to Sydney, I'll take you to the Transformer Thai restaurant. It's also got very great vegan options as well. So I have some friends that are vegan, they love Thai food, so they go here. They have all sorts of artificial meat that is extremely good. Like, I've never had fake duck before from any other place that was as good as like the duck that I got from this place. Smooth. I wouldn't call Cleo smooth. Can you take me there? And Squibby, so she's gone. I wouldn't call that smooth. Yeah, fake duck, made from 99% real duck. East Asian muckcock is usually like Bleeding one. Oh, okay. Do you mean muck duck? No, muckcock. That's as smooth as the countryside were. Exactly. The enthusiasm is adorable. I was making an Agent 47 scoop on stream. Nice. Let's see, was there anything else that people were interested in? I think someone mentioned the build engine. But yeah, DLL injection, you can open up a whole bunch of Doom files and stuff, so if you take a look at the build engine modding, the entire source code of the build engine is actually released. So if you take a look at the source code. So Ken Silverman actually released all of the source code for the original one. Even though there are source ports that are better now, you can still actually see in this lovely website, as befitting from Ken Silverman. The source code was released. Oh yeah, the Duke Nukem 3D source code. Let's read Duke Nukem 3D. So I remember Jets was playing Duke Nukem 3D lately, which I love Duke Nukem. Yeah. So if you take a look at Duke Nukem 3D from 1996, this is the actual source code. So you can see there's a lot of assemblies of engine.c. And so this huge file is the entire engine of Duke Nukem 3D. So modding this makes it relatively easy when you have literally the source code. So when you have the source code, it makes it extremely easy to mod because now you don't need to do any of those hacks or injections or stuff. You have all of the variables, all the names. You don't need to reverse engineer everything, you just gotta read the code. What if CS courses and programming bootcamps do nothing but build a game engine / operating system in 5 years as 2 to 10 to 30 people and teach concepts in the run? That would be horrible because you'd be starting off someone with no knowledge on a code base that they have no knowledge about. Also, yeah, you can also put assembly instructions inside of C. I expect to send the storage space all that text. Exactly, exactly. This compiles down and saved to like a couple megabytes. But all this code would take a lot of space, so if you see how big this text file is. It is 248 kilobytes. That's a huge text file. This fits on... This is gonna take for this whole code base. This whole code base is, I believe, multiple megabytes in size. So if we go here, we'll see A.ASM. You have a whole bunch of like 50 kilobyte files. This will need a whole bunch of floppy disks in order to actually store. That's crazy. You have build.c. This is the build engine. They have the circuit redundancy check. All this weird fucked up shit. A lot of optical illusions are also designed in build engine for Duke Nukem 3D. Yeah, so a lot of optical illusions, like the mirrors in Duke 3D, were pretty hacky, I remember. Yeah, build keys. So this is all the different keys that you could set in, I remember. This is a whole bunch of statuses, like system variables for this, so if it's VGA compatible, okay, your graphics card. So you can copy it on a computer and play the game, or is it still missing assets? That's a good question. I think it is. Let's see. No, you still need to actually get a Duke Nukem 3D CD and put the files in to fully compile it, but this is all the source itself. So you go to source and then all this, let's go to game.c. So game.c would be where the game actually starts, I believe. And this is a 300 kilobyte file. That's nearly 10,000 lines of code. And you can see this is how the game starts. How they defined expansion packs is by literally saying, oh yeah, if Pluto pack has been defined, that means that it's the Atomic Edition. Otherwise, it's full version 5. Otherwise, it's the Aussie version. So it's literally just a variable inside of the CD that determined what version it was. So theoretically, you could mod your game by just changing one of these definitions. So you have timers and stuff. Oh, game text. So naturally, they weren't big on comments, so you had to kind of like try and figure this out. There's an Aussie edition. Yes. Australia has a lot of editions of games that are usually really censored and kind of shitty, because they didn't have an R18 rating until 2012, I believe. Which, yes, quite a way. So, Aussie, Duke Nukem 3D. Yes, Australian edition. So there's the Australian version, I think well, let's see, movie censorship. Okay, so in the Australian version, adult mode is permanently turned off in Duke Nukem. So the Australian version that you got from like the DVD store here would literally not be able to uncensor it. Yeah. So aka blood would be disabled in Australia. It just does smoke. Splatter effects also weren't there. Pools of blood weren't there. Bloody footprints also weren't there in Australia. Bloody walls, not there in Australia. And censored level dimming. So strippers, Chinese restaurant, and the Marine from Doom in a pool of blood was not there in the Australian version. Yeah, with the lightly dressed ladies in Duke Nukem 3D are not there. It's just empty. The posters and magazines, empty. Yeah, that is not there. They completely removed the strippers from the Australian version of Duke Nukem 3D. Which, as we look at the source code, was literally just one single hash define. AKA, one number determines whether or not you have access to any of these things. One number. That's pretty cool. Australia forever losing on the censorship front? Yeah, it sucks. No Master Lock challenges? No. Famous Duke Learn, I'm gonna drink water and recycle responsibly down your neck. Yeah. Duke Nukem was on a landmark case in my media law classes. The Boober cabins are a big part of why the classification was so bad. Yeah, the Boober cabins. So yeah, famous men's cabins appear from time to time. So, aka, it would literally show porn. But in the Australian version, they're like, no. Marco needs to put Cleo in a master lock. That's a very bad idea, because as you would know from the lockpicking lawyer. Lockpicking lawyer, master lock, they're really bad. So master lock's really easy to get out of.
This is the lockpicking lawyer, and today I'm going to show you 3 separate master
So if I put Cleo on a master lock, she'd
each of
escape
which
very
have
quickly.
design flaws so severe that I can open them without the key or combination nearly as fast as I can open
Are the
them
ones
with
rating
the
games in
key or
Australia religious?
combination.
Yes,
The
people
first is
rating
the
on the
master
ratings board in
lock
Australia
lock
are traditionally
live.
old
It's a
white
lock
dudes.
designed to secure the toggle of a trailer coupler, thus preventing a hitch from being attached and therefore.
Oh yeah, speaking of this, anime in Australian Parliament. Talking about anime, okay, it's old shitty. The YouTube search just wants to provoke me and radicalize me with 7 news. That's amazing. Anime in Australian Parliament. Thank you, YouTube algorithm. Very cool. So that's something that I also want to demonstrate, is that YouTube tries to radicalize you way more than it used to. So the very first result for anime in Australian Parliament, they've completely removed it. It's now just burqa outrage and politics and all sorts of this. When I just wanted to find the funny anime video. Yeah, this one. Oh, where is this? The Aramanga Sensei.
Plain and simple. The worst enemy.
So in our parliament, they were talking about
Our
Aramanga
office
Sensei.
discovered is Aramanga Sensei. The plot is beyond what any person would consider as normal or appropriate. The series features 12-year-old Sagiri, who draws pornographic manga while her 15-year-old stepbrother writes the books. Revealing clothing and sexually provocative poses are frequently depicted throughout the series, with the characters seen copying these poses and referring to genitalia. The series also heavily features incest themes, and many scenes are so disturbing, I just can't describe them.
Yes, this is a greater call for the government to step in on censoring anime. Granted, Aramanga Sensei, I don't like it. It was really creepy. But still. Hi, nobody. And hi, Arctic Ninja. Welcome to stream. How you guys doing?
This series is hypersexualized and features incest themes between the 2 main characters, brother and sister, Sora and Shiro. The Classifications Board decision report for No Game No Life states, and I quote, "Throughout the material, the female characters are frequently depicted in sequences that feature panning visuals of or close focus on their crotches, breasts, legs, and or buttocks." End of quote. They are describing images of children.
Yeah,
the rape of children is abundant in manga, like the series Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, Goblin Slayer got brought up in Australian Parliament.
Which I have to say in my office we showed to a number of people today, and they were absolutely horrified. In Goblin Slayer, children are often portrayed as frightening or resisting, but they are also shown as enjoying sexual abuse, enjoying it. And as I've said, experts say that pedophiles are using this material to groom children. Have a look at this. This is normal. It's certainly not normal.
Yeah, as you can tell, there's a little bit of an agenda happening.
The movie, undoubtedly,
Yeah, yeah. That's not happening. That's not happening. What expert is saying anime is being used to groom children? Who? He was kind of right about that, but the other one is like, what? I, what? Also, yeah, he didn't mention anything about the murder. The brutal murder of anyone. It was all the sex stuff. But
features the abuse of children.
yeah, the
In one
rape
explicit
is a little
scene that
much.
takes
I
place
don't
in
like
the
it
virtual
either.
world, the character Asuna is raped by her captor Sugu, who threatens to also
This is
rape
Sword Art Online, by the way.
her in the real world, where she is lying in a hospital room in a catonic state. He also states he'll make a recording of the virtual rape to shame her as well. And the rape, incredibly, is referred to as a fun party.
He does realize that wasn't depicted as like a good thing. Like that was the entire like motivation to stop that. Like, granted, it's a really shitty plotline, but the entire point of it was that they didn't want it to happen.
Asuna is chained and her clothes are ripped from her, while Kirito is forced to witness the rape.
Wait, did
And her clothes are ripped from her, while Kirito is for while Kirito is for
Haritu. Haritu. Yes. Haritu. Haritu. Yeah, imagine him finding out about Neon Genesis Evangelion, and that was over 20 years ago. Imagine him finding out about that in the catatonic states. At least I won't be banning any anime worth watching. That is true. Wait till they try and touch Berserk. Then you fuckers will be mad. I also wish to remind you that the Netflix Someone's Kills was MA15. Yeah, that was really bad. That was also not great. Don't try a reason. They judge in a single microsecond and shut off their brains and scream. Yeah, well, I mean, it's more so these people being extremely old, extremely prejudiced, and extremely out of touch, and possibly not having the credentials to make judgments on entire fields of content.
forced to witness the rape. Asuna is described.
Yeah, what if they found out about the sexual assault in Parliament? Oh my god. Well, God forbid, the Catholic Church.
As a 17-year-old girl. In another scene, high school girls are at a swimming pool where one of the girls indecently assaults another character by repeatedly squeezing her breasts and bullies her because of her physicality.
My man is against the grabbing the breasts and calling you flat trope. I mean, to be fair, I don't like that trope either. It doesn't really ever happen, but still, bringing that up in Parliament is a little weird. Didn't they actually unblock importing and stuff from Japan? Okay, yeah, so story time is relevant to this. I had a friend that was coming back from a Japan trip, and he brought back some doujins for some friends. He was like, he did some requests. He was like, oh yeah, I can find whatever you want, tell me what you want. And one of his friends was like, hey, I want you to find this book for me. And so he grabs his doujin about like Hatsune Miku and a bunch of other questionable content. And he gets stopped by the border security force. He gets stopped by the border security force, and they don't just open his bag. They look at it and they're like, okay, you need to go to the interrogation room. They put him in the interrogation room for having doujins from Japan. And they go through every single page. And they're like, dude, why? Like, come on, you can't have this. And they went through every single page, but like, this probably shouldn't be allowed, but I mean, I can't specifically find a rule. And so they gave it back to him, like, yeah, never do that again. Yeah, look at this page. what do they mean by this? It's because they think they're underage. That was one part of it. It was also a lot of tentacles. And so they try to make a bestiality argument. Oh, Dujin. Okay, Dujin. I keep saying Daujin. Dujin. Sorry, I'm Australian. I apologize. What the fuck are you telling me? Women don't go around grabbing other girls' boobs and calling them flat? No, that never happens. Like, they'll look, but they won't like grab. There'll be like jokes about it, but they don't grab titties. Flat is love, flat is life. Please say you like flat. Yes, clear. I like all sizes. Flat is cute. Mid is good too. Big is also good. All sizes are good. Would they be cool if it was more vanilla? Potentially, but also there's a huge issue in Australia of all anime characters being considered underage because, yeah. There's a really huge thing against that. Well, like, even 30-year-olds, if they don't have big boobs, and like, even if they're presented as like a mature older character, if they don't have big boobs, they're considered to be underage. It's a little yikes. Mako's I think I'm fine. You mean you can just grab titties whenever you want to use dope? No, that's sexual assault. That's just whole lot of sexual assault, my man. Like, the reason why people don't do it is because that's just sexual assault. You won't? Oh, okay, clear. If you ask me politely, I will. Consent is important. A lot of the things in anime were like, hey, and they grab it. That's called fan service. That's primarily for the guys watching it to be like, oh, titties. It doesn't really happen. If a woman doesn't have big breasts, then she is illegal. Yeah. Is there any trouble with the whole banning small-chested models? I think there was, yeah. I think that was a big drama around that, but I don't want to get too into actual porn stuff, so let's redirect it to. Okay, Cleo is squibbing. No, oh, like, oh, that's your dog. Cute. Hey, short stacks exist IRL. I know. Oh shit. Thanks, Copal, to the 1 year sub.
Sorry I'm late for class. Don't worry, I'll just watch the Blackboard VOD at X10 speed just before the exam. Also 1 year ye Makofu hotboy Makofu hotboy Makofu hotboy Makofu hotboy Makofu hotboy Makofu.
I love that it cuts off. It's always great. I don't want the government tries to reinvent entertainment like wonders in the Roman Empire in North Korea. Exactly. Why are they different speeds? Yeah, unfortunately. They didn't synchronize them. Hi DX Days. Welcome to stream. How you doing? Pain. Why do they make VTuber software to capture pain? Oh, you want to see my pain face? I couldn't keep that too long. You guys are nice. Yeah, just literally an upside down V. That feels more like disapproval than pain. Shaka loses finally with hope and optimism she didn't even know she had. Yeah, Mako when she sees me IRL. Okay, shut up with the self-deprecation, clear. I'm sure you're cute. I'm working on outfits and thought. Yeah, out of context, that's... I kind of feel with thought. Like, if thought is the... Holy shit. Okay, so, for context for everyone, I've been showing how to use AI art generators recently. And I did like a full tutorial on how to do it for everyone, how to make anime art. And Bullfrog has just made this. Nice. No, focus on the other one. What's that in your upper leg? I think that's meant to be sweat. I hope that's sweat. Reminds me, discover ways to strengthen weaken tags and image. Oh yeah, by the way. One second. Where is it? Here it is. So rentry.org/sgdfaq, the full model has been leaked of novel AI. You can download it and literally use the same one. It has quite a lot of iterations per second. Highly recommend doing this. Of course, if you have permission to. Don't do this if you don't have permission to, of course. But that's where it is. For educational purposes. This is where the leak is. So, do with this information as you will. Because this one take literally like 5 seconds to install after you download it. You can immediately use it. Okay, let's take a look at Bullfrog's other stuff then. Alright, so the other one is this. Oh, that's also I also like that. That's also pretty good. Yeah, if you happen to want that and also have a good PC. So you can do novel AI without paying for it now. You can run it on your own PC, yes. So you need to have a good PC. Don't do it though. Pay neither. Cool. Arguably Marasmu. This is the argument here, is that Nai trained their images on Denboru and basically used all of the art from that to train it without attribution to the original authors and reproducing their styles. So arguably, they're not paying the original creators of the art anyway, but they trained the AI on. So what moral justification do they have for the AI to not also be free? Yeah, I'd say there's more nuance to it than that, but that is an actual argument that can be used against it. Thank you, Robloxian, for the follow. I hope you are of age. I hope you're at least like 16. Because Roblox in a name. Don't worry, I am. Good. I'm watching you, mister. I want to see how far transformative content argument holds up for Nai. That is true, because on the other hand, so there's that side of the argument. There's also the side that... Give us the link. It is. I posted it. It's rentry.org. Search for leak. So I have made the argument that there is essentially the same arguments for just references, in that you're training references for the AI to reproduce similar things to, just like how a human looks at a piece of art as a reference and essentially takes the same pose, lighting, and all the information from that. There's nothing morally wrong with references, but an AI is just accelerated. Oh, I don't think I understand the damn word in that permission either. Yes, like there's layers. There's layers of yeah. It's basically automated tracing. Kind of yes, kind of no. Is it really tracing if there's a million different points it can do? But yeah, for educational purposes, that's where it is. I'm not stealing their AI models, I'm just referencing what I run on my PC. Exactly. Exactly. But wait, let's go back to flow. Let's see the other one. So there's extremely buff Mako. That's... Bullfrog, you said this one's more reasonable. Okay, this is honestly a lot less reasonable. Because that is like jacked to the tits. That is low water weight. That is having not had water in 48 hours on steroids. Women cannot get muscles. Like, also, it's pinching the thighs as if it's fat, but it's represented as muscle. Women cannot get arms like that without steroids. Yeah, that is zizzed up. It's like, the reason why the thigh squish is a thing is because it's fat. So my thighs are like entirely fat. So they do this. But these thighs are made of muscle. This would be like clinging to its skin tight and they wouldn't go down further because muscle is dense. Still things that wasn't stolen out by 9. The West does is mostly copying composition. Yeah, like 9 doesn't really steal art so much as just there's so many references that it doesn't really steal any one thing. Yeah, you Myron, bro. Alrighty, let's. Ooh, okay, this one's good. This one's good. I like this one. If we... This one is good. I like this. Fancy dinner marker. Can't wait until someone trades an AI smart generator AI. Yeah. Hi 20 for us. Welcome to stream. How you doing? Just quietly, if you wanted to not do that, try block and skin. Oh yeah, you can also put in keywords to say like, no, I don't want skin indentation. Because by default, they block out bad anatomy in Nai anyway. So yeah, make sure to use those tags. Do you think this is going to mess with the totally online dude's expectations of male and female bodies since preferences seem to develop more subconsciously? Potentially, yes. Actually does look like the Persona 5 roller girl. Kinda. Ooh, this is good too. I really like the pose. The pose is really good. Yeah, that pose is good. Did you see the spoiled pic John made in stream memes? I'll take a look at it, but I won't open it up on... Holy shit. I will not share that on stream, but that is impressive. I only fucked up the hair color. Yeah, you can actually repaint this. So you can actually just put red over it and run another pass at low strength. And it will do it better. Yeah, so all you have to do is just put in some red on this and run it at really low strength. Do you know you can't look up or poke your tongue? I know. I know, alright? You can't do that to me. I know. I am aware. Streamer has knowledge. IRC, NSFW is your only Shadowban tag. No, it isn't actually. The entire point of Novel AI was because other AIs weren't letting them do NSFW. Nai was specifically made to allow NSFW, and the whole crackdown on, oh, they can't enable NSFW for long, it'll be like a rights thing. A conspiracy theory has emerged that, well, they released the full dataset so that people could just use it for NSFW anyway, and all of this was a front. So yeah, that's the and yeah, like I've already made NSFW and shown people. Yeah, so like theoretically, because Nai's original intention was to make NSFW, even if they disable in the future because of pressure, the source code has been released in like 6 days after it came out from a leak. It's banned until you say. Oh no, Shadowban isn't banned until you say you want that tag. Yeah. You definitely can't look up, poke your tongue out, and touch your elbows at the same time. Stop. No. Okay, I'm trying, which you can't see, so don't worry. I can't even get like within 10 centimeters. The night tag and pics isn't blowing up, but so the hentage is already here. Yeah, that's impressive. Oh, this one's cute too. I like this one. So then straight T-pose and I'm trying shit. Yeah, it's me. What strength are you on a hair color change? I usually run like 0.2, really low noise, and you stick to the prompt really hard. Yeah, this one's cute. I like this one. Yeah, plenty of people have been going through Night Diffusion and making a whole bunch of fan art from it. I'm wondering, like, is it? It's technically fan art. It is, but I'm not sure how to define it really. Or to find some other stuff I thought was really cool. Oh yeah, the Mona Lisa. Let's close this in case. Yep. Okay, so the Mona Lisa was fed into it. And I spat out this. So this is the Mona Lisa. As an anime girl. Mina's redraws you roommate. Maybe that stuff can become a problem if someone claims art is infringing likeness. Oh yeah, that is true. That is true. Oh yeah, there's also a whole bunch of these from Waifu Diffusion. So that's cool too. And you continue studying art to the point where I can feel what is about the more default poses that bother me so much. Yeah. Goths GF. 3 arms, yeah. What else? Let's see. Yeah, you made a lot, wow. Nice. Hi, Spookerik. This is Night Diffusion, or this one is Waifu Diffusion, but these ones are novel AI, which has been leaked. Nice. Got better results with Waifu and textural diffusion. Yeah. Oh, where was the other one? Lots. If you scroll up and fan out a little bit, let's see. There's more AI stuff. Oh yeah, so after I fed in my images, I showed you guys, so this is me fitting in myself. So, paid actress who's forced to look like me. That's what it spat out. It was like a very realistic one, then it got more anime, and then the... Yeah. This is paid actress. She's forced to. She's forced to look kind of like me. Aggressively animate. Yeah, it for some reason decided that I really looked like a cougar. As Cleo put it. Yeah, bonk. Face gets younger every time. Thanks. Of course, that's how Cleo said I look like a cougar that preys on shoulders, and I was like, no. I am a respectable woman. I like femboys. And manly men. And the women. Who doesn't? Exactly. Exactly. Femboys and buff men, the two extremes. Yeah. I will not mention my femboy history before. You people have heard it before, so yeah. Oh yeah, here are some Halloween outfits. Like, look at this. This is really fucking cool. Like this is so insanely cool. I can just generate this. Like, oh, femboy history. Don't question it. Don't question it. It was a partner. Don't question it. Yeah, I look like a Guilty Gear character. What else? Let's see what the AI is. Let's find my AI parts. So we're going over a whole bunch of technology, a whole bunch of modding stuff, a whole bunch of AI stuff. Yeah. Alright. Let's Does anyone have any suggestions? Who to raid? As remember, our 2K celebration is on Sunday. So make sure to come to our 2K celebration on Sunday. If I show you our schedule, let's see. Also, I want everyone here to vote in the poll. So the 2K celebration is here. Come 5 PM Sunday Australian time. But the poll for this one, it's break week next week. Please make a vote whether you would like more international times, or if you like the current Australian preferential time slot. Please, everyone vote. It makes me decide whether next week when I have more time, whether the international slot works better, if you like both, or if they want the more 7 PM slots. No problem, it's a break week. So at university, there's a break week in the middle of term. So I no longer have to teach during the day. So I can stream earlier if I want to. Thank you, Spookarook, for the follow. I hope you all enjoy this educational content. Remember to come to our 2K celebration on Sunday. Let's now go to Twitch and see what is the suggestions. Where is it? Raid. Holy shit, Neg does have 1.6k. Jesus Christ. But yeah. Thank you everybody for coming. Who's this? Oh, Rory, she's doing Overwatch. Is there any other educational wait. I'll do the check. I'll do the standard I'll do the check. Shut up, me. Shut up. Nope, it's literally just me with that tag. Hi Gunyella, welcome to stream. We just did a whole bunch of educational stuff. I also have new hair. I hope you like the hair. Apologies. Raid Scrimbler. Shush. I will not raid Scrimbler. I'll never raid Scrimbler. Is there educational content? Let's say yes. Mock your Twitch partner. We actually didn't get any raids. And we stayed around like 70, 90 people, so that's really impressive. I'm really proud of you guys for sticking around. It's like a lot of volume on the edge. Yeah, very well for raid the stream. Let's pick a place. Rate it. Oh, bag is on. Yeah, it's Cloud Goody. You already have platinum, you little shit. Don't you come here and suck it up the clout. You little plushie. Your place is on the shelf. Thanks, Kithion, for the follow. Okay, let's see. Raid. Let's do paper bag. Let's see. Yeah. I will see all of you on Sunday. Remember to come to Sunday. And remember the vote and poll. Pokemon go to the polls. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, Goonie. I'll see you in another stream. That's hopefully a little better time. Alrighty. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming to stream.